Hi everyone, I'm Christine McGuinness. Welcome to the Shizzio show.
It's the Shizzio show. Finished.
Flip the switch, you wanna cut the corners, better learn to drift. Porsches, Beamers, Skyline.
Evo boy, don't test me.
All these horses, someone tell me. How they gonna stop us if we got the drive? Beyond these streets, your tank reads empty. Too much power, someone tell me. How you gonna stop us if we got the drive? How you gonna stop us if we got the drive?
You wanna ride with me?
Drive.
You wanna ride with me?
Drive.
Okay, we are back. Another episode, another guest. You know what? Thank you for everyone subscribing. Hit that button. We love to see it. It's growing. I can't lie. It's growing and we're getting there. Very special guest in the house today. She was early, you know. I can't lie. She was hella early. Like, we love that. Punctual is her middle name. Okay, she was a little bit late.
No one's going to believe you. Everyone who knows me
Yeah.
knows that I'm not
But
great
it's
at
all
time.
good. We are delighted. We're honoured. Thank you so much. Christine McGuinness is in the house. Yeah, I know. There's actually no one here till cool. It's so late. Everyone left. No.
No, I'm clapping because I'm here. I
No.
can't believe I made it.
No, you made it. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Really appreciate your time. And you did say off camera that people mentioned the show to you. So that's lovely to just get that feedback that we're actually...
You were highly recommended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really nice. You're doing a lot out there right now. I know you're on
I
TV and doing this and that, and we love to see it. But we've got to take it back. We've got to take it back.
Okay.
Born and bred where?
Born and bred in Blackpool, but raised in Liverpool.
Okay, how far is Blackpool from Liverpool? Because we're very
About
ignorant
an
down there.
hour.
We
It's
just
about
think-
an hour away.
We just think north is the north.
Yeah, and Wikipedia gets it wrong. Wikipedia will often either say that I'm born and bred in Liverpool or born and bred in Blackpool. I was literally born in Blackpool Hospital and then raised in Liverpool
So at what age did you move to Liverpool?
before I was one.
Oh, so so
Yeah,
do you?
Scouser.
So yeah, are you a Scouser?
Yeah,
You're a Scout.
definitely. It's quite simple that my dad is from Blackpool and my mum is from Liverpool. They separated when I was a baby, so
Oh, they separated.
I was took back to Liverpool. Yeah.
So what? When you were one, they separated.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had any contact with your father, or was that? Did it?
Yeah, not a lot growing up. I'd see him maybe once a year. Going to Blackpool was like my holiday because it was
Right.
a seaside place. And,
Right.
I saw him just now and again growing up, but we're a lot closer now.
My true test for anyone
Okay.
who claims they're from Liverpool
Go on.
is: do you know about Purple Aki?
I do know about Purple Aki.
Hey, see that? How do I know? Look at her face. He
Say no
got,
more.
He ain't got a clue. Mad.
Purple Aki.
What's up with this guy?
Well, do you know
But he's-
Scousers?
But it's actually like a real thing, like a
Yeah.
legend,
Legend.
like a proper thing. Like
Yeah.
I didn't realise how much of a thing Purple Aki.
You know everyone's going to be searching Purple Aki.
It's mad though. Like I saw a documentary once and I was like, what? And then when I spoke to people, it was like I didn't realise how much of Liverpool knew about this guy.
Yeah. I'm surprised that you know of him because I don't think I've heard that name, 10 years?
Yeah, but if you were from Liverpool, everyone knew about him, right?
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah.
And everyone's scared of him, correct?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know, what was it, like a tale, like he will come and get you kind of thing.
Yeah, well, I don't know like the whole true story, but yeah, the rumours are not great.
Yeah.
But I'm sure
Can
you
we clarify for anyone? You're laughing because you're thinking, I wasn't expecting him to say that. But can we clarify? So it's a guy, right? And he would go around and potentially not do nice things to kids? Like, or is it youngsters?
Yeah, so
Not
from,
in a
from
sexual,
what,
I don't know, what was it? He would harass youngsters.
What I saw, it was more like a bit of a thing like on social media years ago. And I'd heard of Purple Aki when I was a teenager, but it was just basically like, angry, aggressive type.
Yeah.
But who knows? Everyone changes. He could be an absolute angel
Right.
now. We don't know.
But it seemed to like be like Chinese whispers, almost like
Yeah.
like he was this big thing, and he was coming to. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it was
yeah.
almost like he was almost like to scare kids to be like.
yeah, you need to get home before 6 o'clock at night, or Paper Blackie will come out.
And that's the whole of Liverpool.
that's- yeah.
One man. Yo, where is this guy now? You know, I don't know if I want to, but I want to put out a call to Purple Aki. If anyone can find him, I will reward you. I'll get him there. I need to talk to this
Can
guy.
I apologise to Paper Blackie if the rumours are not true?
Yeah, it's true. But I once saw a documentary and he was in it. Like he wasn't like they'd filmed him and stuff. And it seemed like, but it was crazy how like the Chinese whisper had got so big,
Yeah.
and people were so scared of alleged of stories.
Allegedly,
It was
yeah.
like story time.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like it almost seemed like to me like the village was like scared of him. He's gonna come and
Yeah.
get you. And I found it fascinating. And
Kind
it's-
of like being a celebrity, I suppose.
yeah, but in like the wrong way. But
All
it's-
the rumours
but
can
people
go
would
wild.
spot him and say that they spot him,
Yeah.
and people would be like, right, kids, like this person's gonna come and get you if you don't behave.
Yeah,
Mad.
yeah.
See, you are a true Scouser.
Whereas I'm a sweet mum and I just say, kids, if you don't go to bed, Santa's going to be watching.
Yeah, obviously, but Purple Aki's old
Bit
school.
scary, huh?
Yeah, he's not. But you passed the Scouser test. You know what I mean? Can you just break down, aside of Purple Aki, what Scouser living is like for those that don't know?
Do you know, for me, it was amazing. I absolutely loved growing up in Liverpool. I
Yeah.
grew up on a council estate where everyone was just there for each other. We'd play Kirby outside. We didn't have a lot of money, but we were happy.
Yeah.
Everyone was each other's babysitter. Like, there was no one having to go and ask for help anywhere because, like, the neighbours would be there or someone over the road would always come and look after the cat or the kids or
Yeah.
whatever. And I always felt quite safe where I grew up because everyone just knew each other. Being a teenager, growing up in Liverpool city centre, that was a different story. That was wild.
Okay, that was
Just-
wild.
That was crazy.
Okay, let's just concentrate on the estate side first. Everyone knows everyone, so it's
Yeah.
a bit of home from home.
Yeah.
Do you think that's missing now? A lot of kids are not really out as they.
Yeah.
It's strange how things have reversed. It's almost like you can't get your kids out now. They want to be in
Yeah.
and on iPads.
That's exactly how it is with mine. And it's sad because the world should be getting safer and it feels like it's not.
Yeah.
Our age coming out now, but there was absolutely no social media when I grew
Mm.
up. So the only way you could socialise would be to go and knock on your friend's house
That's right.
and go and play outside.
Yeah.
Our computers were minimal, you know, so compared to now, kids, they talk about, I know.
Come on.
Do you know what?
Old school.
Super Mario that, but I have got this for my kids. But I loved computers when I was little. But to actually see anyone, you would have to go out and meet them. You couldn't call. We had no phones.
Do you know when I show my daughter these old school games, her attention, she don't care. It's just like,
Not interested.
no, they can't.
Oh, mine love that.
It just seems a bit too like primitive for them now. I don't know. No, they like it for a little bit, and then it's like, oh,
Oh, I see. I
Is
can
this all
still
it
get
does?
lost in a game. I can still get lost in a game. But that might be part of my autism. It's quite common with autistic people to just be able to sit and play
Okay.
in a game all day.
we're definitely going to get to that. That's like a whole chapter in itself. Okay, so it's safe around the estate, even though it was rough estate.
I mean, yeah, it was a pretty big council estate in Liverpool, but it just felt like everyone would look after their own.
Yeah.
So maybe for outsiders, it might not have felt as comfortable, but growing up there, I was fine.
Is it like diverse, or is it like mainly?
No, it was very diverse. It really was, and I love that. I love
Yeah.
that I grew up with culture, with different people, with people from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
You know, not everyone there was just, you know, poor or lazy or not wanting to work. Everyone there had big dreams.
Yeah.
It would just be unfortunate whether it was, you know, they might have lost their jobs and they had to go to a council estate, or, you know, children and they need bigger houses, maybe can't afford to stay where they were, so they come to a council estate. For me, for my mum, it was that she separated from my dad. She had my sister and she had me, and she had no choice but to go from Blackpool back home to Liverpool and raised us there, but she's done a bloody good job.
Are you the youngest or the older sister?
I'm the middle child, so then my
Okay.
mum went on to have my brother.
Right.
And yeah, it was just my mum, single mum, 3 kids.
And did you kind of notice that you didn't have the money per per se, or is it a case of you just get along with what you got?
We didn't know any different, you know, back then. I didn't even know what a celebrity was. I didn't know what
And look at you now.
anything was. But I always had big dreams. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a mum. I remember at school, like that annoying teacher would come round and be like, you know, what are you going to do when you leave school? What do you want to study at sixth form? And for me, it was just, I just want to be a mum. That's all I wanted to do, was be a mum, yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong in that as well, I think.
That was
Do you know
my
what I mean?
big ambition.
Yeah.
And I absolutely smashed it. I had 2 kids at once. I had twins.
Yeah.
And then I had another one 3 years later.
Come on.
So
We love that. In school, are you kind of studying though or not?
I was good up until I got to senior school. So I was in junior school, the perfect little Matilda type child. Very quiet. I like to keep myself to myself.
Yeah.
Quite nervous, very anxious. And just, you know, I like to stay out of trouble. And then I got to senior school and I really struggled.
What happened?
Really struggled. I just felt like I couldn't fit in. I'd suddenly gone from this really, really small school to a massive
big one.
school.
Yeah.
And I just felt lost. I didn't know anybody. I didn't know where the classrooms were because we were moving from one class to another. There was a different teacher in every lesson. There'd be different children in every lesson. And I just found it extremely overwhelming.
So did you have friends in school then, or did you just isolate yourself?
Isolated myself, and I left before I was 14.
Okay, that's very early. Why is that?
I couldn't cope and I didn't know what it was. And even though I had school counselling, the headmaster was great, my mum was absolutely amazing, I couldn't put it into words exactly what it was that I was struggling with. They knew that I wasn't being naughty, that I wasn't just, you know, wanting to skip school.
Right.
I just couldn't cope with the classroom. Now I understand that it's because I'm autistic and ADHD.
Right.
But I wasn't diagnosed then.
Right.
So, yeah, and I thank God every day that I did leave and I stayed at home with my mum.
When you say you can't cope, when you talk about it now, can you find the words for it? Like to kind of, I don't know if someone's out there and they feel like they can't cope. Because it's quite vague, isn't it?
I found school very overwhelming. I felt like I didn't fit in. I felt different to everybody else and I didn't know why. I remember the canteen being a massive trigger for me. I would almost wake up my anxiety before it got to lunchtime because I'd be thinking,
I've got to go in there.
I've got to go in there. I don't know what food's on the menu. I know there's going to be a big long queue with everyone kind of, you know, all waiting to get to the front for the food. And then there's just the smell, the busyness, the hustle and bustle of the canteen.
The overthinking, the noise, the anxiety of it all.
Yeah, so that was just pure fear. And then it was like trying to get through the rest of the day, trying to remember what classroom I'm supposed to go to. Did I do my homework? Have I got everything I need? And yeah, it was just an awful lot to deal with.
Not to throw a curveball, but we've had some guests on the show previously and they've said that ADHD is not a thing, it's a tag. They're almost like they try to dismiss that it doesn't exist. I'm only going to say that I'm not here to offend you, but because it's some guest has said that, I obviously would like your perspective on it. I know it's different.
Offended. No, I'm not offended at all.
But you get what I mean? Like some people have come and said those type of words they've been put onto children, and it's almost like they've tagged, and it's not a thing, as some people have said.
I think it's massively misunderstood, and I think the reason people do say that is because they're hearing about it more now.
Yeah.
So people think it's like the latest trend, but let me tell you, it's not a medal. It's not something that you want to have.
Yeah.
And also going down the diagnostic route for myself and my 3 children, I can tell you that that's not just given out. It takes years and years. It's long, and it's just more heard about now. And I think that's why people are a bit like, oh, another one.
Do you think more people have it now as opposed to back then, or is it a case where people just are more aware now? Because when I talk to people like that, they say, bruv, it wasn't a thing in those days. It wasn't a thing. What's your view on that?
I think people are more aware now, obviously. So diagnosis are being recognised a lot earlier, which is good for those that need help.
Yeah.
I think that everything in everyone is more heightened.
Right.
Because of the way the world has changed and developed and evolved, and that's great, that's the way it's supposed to be. But because of those reasons, I think autistic people or ADHD people now, in comparison to years ago, would be struggling more now because, like, the world is completely different with social media, with computers, with the fast pace, with the pressure of trying to always be the best or look the best, or, you know, do as much as you can in your job and succeed. And it's a lot more intense now, the world, and socialising isn't like it used to be. So for autistic children now, compared to, obviously I was an autistic child years ago, and for me, I had no choice, but if I wanted to socialise, I would have to go meet up with someone. I very rarely did, because I struggled with that, and that's part of me being autistic. But for children now, they barely leave the house or they're on the computer. So naturally, we're losing social skills every day as a generation. Like we are losing our social skills because we're not doing it as much. We don't actually sit and have a chat like this. I can't remember the last time I sat and had a chat with anybody because I just wanted to. It's because it's, you know, I'll do it if it's for work or I'm on a podcast or something.
And I'll ask you now, have you looked into what causes this? Because a lot of people have different theories. None of it's confirmed, but it doesn't stop us from, obviously we all have the internet now, and there's rabbit holes that you can go down. I've done it myself. Where's your conclusion about all of this?
I think it's
someone
genetic.
You think it's genetic?
I think it's genetic, yeah, I do. Now I understand it more. I can see it in my mum. I can see it in my nan.
Right.
And then there's me, and then there's my 3 children.
Yeah.
So there's very obviously a link. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I really don't. I just think...
it's a superpower.
Well, it just, for me, it just means that I'm like my mum, obviously. She's my mum.
Yeah.
And my children are like me, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So we're going to have things that we're going to take genetically from our families.
But does that take time to understand it, though?
It does,
To be
but...
like, yes, I'm like my mum, there's nothing wrong with it now.
Yeah, well, it was when I took my children for their autism assessments that I kind of sat there going, oh, well, I do that, what's the problem? And, you know, I don't, wherever they were, and I just thought, well, they're just like me. So I didn't get, when the paediatrician was saying to me that my children were autistic, I was like, well, everything you've just mentioned is, I do it, and I'm not autistic, so why would you say that?
Right.
It's just like the mummy. And then, I went off and I studied it and I understood it, and I was like, okay, I tick pretty much every box.
When you got diagnosed, well, I'm going off a complete tangent. We're going to go back to school because we're still in school, but we're in there. When you got diagnosed, did you self-diagnose then, or did someone...
No,
how does it work?
no. I went for an assessment because all 3 of my children were diagnosed.
Right.
I wanted to understand it more. I wanted to understand them. I wanted to know where it came from and how it happened. How did I end up with 3 individual children all with the same diagnosis? And I'd never really heard of it before. So I went and looked into it, and I met a professor and I had an assessment. And
What does that consist of, sorry, for those that are unaware?
There's a lot of going into your history, going into your childhood, going into the way you communicate, the way you think, the way you speak, the way you are with textures, with sensory issues, with food. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not a simple, you know, little test on a computer and then you get diagnosed. It's long. It takes a long time. And
then when you're diagnosed, is it do you kind of realise, oh, that's why X, Y, Z, I am like that, or I don't know, does everything fit into place for you, or how does it, is it like a light bulb moment?
It's a mixture of emotions. I think people assume that when you get a diagnosis, you're suddenly going to go, oh, great, I'm going to go and start this whole new life and I'm just going to be my authentic self. Yeah. You can't do that because you've lived, especially if you get a late diagnosis like I did, you've lived over 30 years as the person who you think you are. Yeah. And then when you get answers to all of the questions like I did, when I was always wondering, like, how do people just cope with life? How do people get from A to B without being an hour late? How do people just
you made
juggle?
It. You made it. So it's cool, yeah.
And it all made sense. So in many ways, it's helped me be a lot less harder on myself, because I'd always kind of put myself down for not doing enough, or not being quick enough, not having enough friends, or dressing like everybody else. And once I understood the reasons why, I kind of went, oh, well, okay, then I get it. And then
obviously the spectrum is so vast.
Yeah.
There's no apps, there's no way to pinpoint, do you know what I mean? Everyone's different.
That's right.
How is that in your kind of children to kind of ascertain the level of special need or whatever they...
So, well, it's different. All three of them are different,
Right.
and it can be different on different days. So, with the spectrum, people used to refer to the spectrum quite a lot, and they try not to anymore because, like, doctors used to say that you would be mildly autistic or moderate or severely autistic.
Highly functioning. Or
Yeah,
functioning.
yeah.
Right.
And what people are finding now is it's best just to say we're autistic,
Really?
and that's it, because there are days where I would be much on the higher end and you wouldn't know and you wouldn't recognise me and you would think, how is she sat here now doing this today when she
Right.
would be more up there? Luckily for me, the majority of the time I'm somewhere between mild and moderate, depending on what's going on in life. But it can be something that's happened in your day that can trigger you to then suddenly just stop and think, I can't have a conversation, I can't speak today.
Do you think the spectrum taking it away is a good thing? Because for me, if you said to me, oh, so and so is heavily autistic or someone's mildly autistic, I would in my mind be able to gauge
Yeah.
a level for my.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So removing that, I don't know.
I think it's more for the ones that are in the mild moderate area may not get the support that they need because they are not physically affected,
Right.
where visually you would know, it's still in their head, and there's still going to be days where they will not be able to do things that a neurotypical person can do. So by kind of just saying we're autistic, we're all under that umbrella, there's days that we struggle more than others. I think it supports the ones that may not have got as much help otherwise.
And just for any kind of mums out there, what are the signs they should be looking for if they have a feeling that
Development delays in
Right.
the early years are so important, because I do think early diagnosis makes a big difference.
yeah,
So speech and language is quite a big red
Yeah.
flag to look out for, and all children develop differently, which we know. All my 3 children develop differently, so some might be chatting away when they're 1 or 2. Autistic children, it could be much later. My children all started saying words when they were around 4.
right,
They didn't speak in sentences till they were 5.
right,
Now my twins are 11 and they're communicating really well. They chat away, but their communication isn't like other children their age.
right.
There's other development delays that you might find with food.
Yeah,
with weaner.
textures.
Yeah, textures, eaten, clothes. I remember my children always pulling the clothes, the tags, the labels, anything itchy. They wouldn't like
Tiptoe
them.
walking,
Tiptoe walking, yeah.
lining up your toys.
Yeah.
See, I know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, which some people might think is just the kids playing
It's
and
like a
they're keeping it nice and
repetition,
tidy.
yeah.
But then you go and mess with that lineup and you're going to see
Yeah,
why
so they
it's
like
not
things
just-
in a specific way.
Yeah.
Change of routine.
Change of routine
So
is
if a routine
massive.
is, so if you change the
Yeah.
routine, they can.
And that's what I'm saying. So even now for me, if something changes in my plans, it could be that, my hair and makeup artist has cancelled, or my outfit didn't arrive, or my hotel's different.
Right.
And most people will be able to think quick and go, right, okay, well, I'll just sort that out. I'll do something. I kind of will freeze, and then I just end up being stuck. And
What
it
do you
can
mean stuck?
take
As in
me
just
days to pick back off.
days?
Yeah.
As in stuck for, okay, you have to explain
Yeah,
stuck for
so
days.
if
What is
I'm at home and I'm coming to London and I'm supposed to be staying in a hotel that I know that I've recce'd, that I've checked, that it's nice and plain and it's how I like it to be, if that's not available, then I would probably end up just staying at home and cancelling the whole trip, rather than just going online and booking a different hotel.
Okay, FYI, how does a hotel have to look?
Well,
I'm
again,
curious, what is it?
different for everyone, and people probably assume that I need like a big luxurious hotel, and it's really not at all. I just like plain, simple. I don't like too many patterns on the walls. I don't like floral bedding. I just like it.
But people might just put that down to that's things you just don't like. You don't prefer to have those things.
Yeah, but for me,
Right.
for me, and this is more my ADHD side, so my brain just doesn't switch off, so it's constantly going over and over. So if I'm laying in a room and there's things to look at, I'm going to sit there all night looking and counting how many pictures are on the wall, and
Oh, you do the
seeing
counting
if
thing?
if everything's symmetrical in the room, and and I can't stop it. I cannot stop it.
And then just kind of growing up, the first time this was ever kind of known to kind of me was Rain Man.
Yeah.
This is a movie.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really seem to see much movies and stuff like that out there. Do we not? You know, like
I think there's just a better more realistic representation now. So there are lots of autistic characters on telly, in cartoons, in children's books, which is amazing, great
Yeah.
to see. And it's more of a realistic representation, which I think is great because it shows that a lot of autistic people can blend in and
Yeah.
sort of pretend to be like everybody else. But then it will show that privately, you know, they're struggling and they might need a little bit of extra support in different areas.
And then for kind of you as kind of the spokesperson per se, is that extra pressure for you when you're kind of out doing your thing? Because, I don't know, because you have a career, you're doing your stuff and it doesn't necessarily link with autism, but do you feel like, I don't know, a pressure to kind of fly that flag?
Do you know what? I never did because I didn't realise it was going to be such a big deal.
Right.
Which I'm glad about, because if I did know, I probably would never have done it.
Right.
But when I spoke about my diagnosis and my children's, it kind of just went everywhere.
This
I
was the
remember
documentary, right?
Yeah, but I'd done an interview before the documentary and it went everywhere online. It was front page news. And I remember back then kind of thinking, wow, this is incredible for all the autistic
Awareness,
people and
yeah.
families that wanted to see someone talking about it in the public eye. But I wasn't aware that there was a gap or that was needed. And I never stepped into wanting to be a spokesperson. It kind of just happened. But I think since I first spoke about it compared to now, like you said, everyone's kind of heard about it or will know someone who is neurodiverse in some
Yeah.
way. And it's much more talked about and it seems to be a lot more common now.
But how do you handle that pressure of you being the kind of spokesperson for it or one of the front runners of it?
I think I don't feel pressure because it's just part of my job as a mum.
Yeah.
And that's always going to be my priority. I want people to understand, and I'm very, very fortunate to have a platform where people will listen. And even if off this today, if there's one or two people that might learn something or might spot something in their child or even in themselves and it helps them, then it's worth doing.
Do you think children should wear a badge or a ribbon or to show others that they are a certain type of way?
I think in certain places it can be really helpful.
Yeah, because I've seen, sorry to interrupt, I've seen people with special needs and they're in like a supermarket or something and there's a meltdown happening and you can see the parents going through so much stress of just, there's a worry of what others
The
think.
judgment.
Yeah, and
yeah.
you know people think, oh, you're a bad parent or whatever, but that's clearly not the case.
Yeah, I had to deal with it when mine were little. I remember a man approached me. I was on my own with all three children and I'd parked in a disabled bay. Now, we have a blue badge, so I'm fully entitled to park there. And the man approached me and he it was quite verbal, quite loud.
Right.
And as much as I wanted to shout back, I just very calmly, I just explained the situation. I said, all of my children are autistic. This is the safest place for me to park, to get them in safely, because they've got absolutely no danger awareness of roads whatsoever. They were all non-verbal at the time. And I just took the opportunity to educate them rather than have an argument.
Right. And it worked?
Yeah, he came and apologised.
As so he should. But do you think kids should wear a badge or what's your
I think in
stance?
certain places. So there is something called the sunflower lanyard, and that is...
COVID time, I know about the
Do
sunflower.
you know it?
Hey, listen, I wasn't wearing no mask, I'll be honest. I had that on, had to.
I'm happy. What are you allowed? Are you entitled to?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to lie.
Cut that bit out.
No. I've got to be honest. I didn't like wearing the mask. I couldn't get on with a mask.
I really struggled with the masks as well. But no, I think the sunflower lanyard is great because it is a symbol for hidden disability. So
Right.
it lets people know that you might not be able to see with your own eyes what somebody is struggling with. If they're wearing the badge, that is to let you know that
But that's
they may
so
need extra
vague.
help.
Do you think an autism one should exist, a separate one? Do you know what I mean? Because a sunflower could be absolutely anything.
Just then, where does it end?
Yeah, I know, I hear that. I'm just
Where
curious
does
as
it
to...
end? Because there's autism, dyslexia, ADHD, and
Yeah.
and people need different areas of support. For me, I always have the badges with me and I use them as and when necessary. Like in an airport, for example, my
Right.
children would really, really struggle with the security part. And all it does is it just cuts a little bit of time out, not an awful lot. You're not front of the queue.
Yeah.
And you'll be getting a bit more patience from the staff because they will know
Yeah.
that you might need extra help.
And then kind of telling your children when is an appropriate time? Have you told them firstly?
Yeah, and I think it's different for everyone. For us, it was simply just a sit down around the dinner table whilst we were playing Lego. I chose to talk to them about it because their school were doing Autism Awareness Week.
Right.
So
How
I
old were
just
they, sorry?
thought, this was 2 years ago, so the twins were 9.
Right.
The youngest was 6. And yeah, I just started with, you know, has anyone heard of autism? And they all raised the hand,
Right.
and I couldn't believe it.
So
And
just
I
thought
was
it's time.
I was happy.
Right.
I was happy that they'd heard of it. So then I just asked them, what do you know about it? And they said, oh, one of our friends at school is autistic. And then my son said, and I'm autistic, mummy. And I was like, yes, you are, Leo, you're autistic.
How did he know that?
He
Okay.
already
Wow,
knew
fantastic.
himself, maybe because he gets extra help at school,
Right.
you know, but
Yeah.
yeah, he was really quite happy about being part of the club.
Yeah.
And then the girls joined in and said, I'm autistic, aren't I, mummy? I said, yeah. I said, and mummy's autistic too. And I think for me that was the best thing about getting a diagnosis, was that my children wouldn't feel different,
they're
you know,
kind of like
to
mummy.
mummy.
But that can be daunting for parents, right? To pick the right time and just.
Yeah.
So is that just a gut feeling then?
Yeah, I think there's never a perfect time. I got really, really lucky that, you know, they already knew, and I felt like they were at the right age. I'd say introduce them as early as possible, not just if your children are autistic, but if you've got neurotypical children, read a children's book that's got autistic characters in, just so that they can learn, you know, there's bound to be somebody in the class or the next class somewhere that will have additional needs. It's good for them all to learn about each other.
And do you get like a lot of like on sort of questions, like, I don't know, on social media and stuff from people like expecting you to,
Yeah.
can that be too much? Do you know what I'm saying? Because you are human as well. And
Yeah.
I know like you are the spokesperson, but do you sometimes feel like you've bitten off more than you can chew? I don't know.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
yeah, a bit like what's that film? Is it Bruce Almighty, where he
Oh, yeah.
asks he wants to be like God, he wants to help
Yeah,
everyone.
that's right.
And I feel a bit like that. I really, really try and do as much as I can to help educate, to help raise awareness and understanding. But the amount of messages I get daily, I can't possibly keep up with.
Yeah.
And then I feel really, really shit about that.
That's
that
what I
can't
mean,
get
yeah,
back
because
to
it's
everyone.
it's at your own expense as well,
Yeah.
isn't it? Your own kind of mental health.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And I wish I could, but I also, I live in it daily. I have days myself where I feel like I'm suffocating in it. Obviously, my 3 children as well. It's a lot. So I haven't always got time to sit and reply to people on social media. But I do wish I could, because I want to help everyone.
we've gone on a major tangent, right, from high school to autism, but I'm sorry, but we have to get it out,
okay.
and it's natural, and we've flown. Let's just go back to school, because we
Yeah.
sorted out the autism issue. Right, so in school, secondary, you tell your mum that you're just not coping, and your mum pulls you out of school at age 14.
Yeah, it was a lot of going backwards and forwards between the teachers and my mum.
Because most schools wouldn't let you leave at age 14, regardless.
Yeah, I got lucky that it was before the big laws came in place.
Right.
I was in and out enough for it to be okay, but they just wanted me to be safe, and I made it clear that if I was made to continue school, that I was going to keep leaving and escaping wherever I could. And
Oh, so that's what you were doing, escaping?
yeah,
But when you were escaping, what were you doing? Hiding in a library, or are you going down the high street?
wandering the streets,
Oh,
walking
really?
across fields, just anything, just to...
You gotta be careful, because purple Aki's
I
lurking.
know,
I'm telling you,
telling you.
that brother's out there, you know. You're mad. What's the matter with you? Okay, so your mum actually pulled you out of school then?
Yeah.
So then I'm
yeah.
presuming you don't study or do any exams or anything then?
I went back in for my GCSEs, and I remember it so clear. I went into the sports hall, I sat at my desk, and all I could hear was the clock ticking,
Yeah.
the teacher's footsteps up and down. I got extremely upset. I wrote my name, I closed my book, and I walked out in the middle of the exam. And that was it, I didn't go back. Couldn't do it.
Do you think there should be a special thing for kind of autistic people and exams? Isn't
There is now. So fortunately, if you're autistic now, or if you're struggling in any way, if you just struggle
get extra
to be
time,
in
I
a
know
busy
that one.
place, you might get a quiet room on your own,
Okay.
get extra time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you leave with nothing then. So then what's the plan then, like in your kind of head of what you want to be, what you want to do?
I got lucky. I became a model. I won a competition. I won Miss Merseyside and then I won Miss Liverpool. I was doing beauty pageants.
Well, hold on. Okay, so what got you into that?
My mum knew that I was really struggling. She could see that I wasn't making friends. I was staying in more and more, becoming quite a recluse. And she saw an advert in the local newspaper, the Liverpool Echo.
Come on.
And it was for a beauty competition. So she entered me into it. And I went along and I won. And with that, I won a modelling contract, which is where I started to work and earn.
Right. So when your mum tells you you're gonna go to this competition, are you kind of happy with it, or are you just like, I don't want to be? Because that's very public, isn't it? Like
I was so scared.
Like you're out to the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was petrified. I was so scared. I wasn't confident one bit.
Right.
I really wasn't.
But she made you go.
Yeah, she made me go. I wore one of my mum's dresses and her shoes and done my own hair and makeup. And I looked around the room and there was just these stunning, beautiful girls there that had a whole glam squad with them.
Right.
And yeah, and I turned up.
And destroyed them. Are you all right? Don't piss me off. You know what I mean? Sorry, I got a bit
I
mad
don't
there.
like to boast about it.
It is what it is, you know what I mean? Yeah. Walked in and said, you know what I mean? Okay. So you win the local one.
Yeah.
The girls are all pissed off in it, obviously. The levels of bitchiness must be through the ceiling. But it's cool. It happens.
Do you know what? It's quite surprising with beauty pageants. It is as hard as what you think with the
No, I can
girls.
imagine.
It is. And again, I quickly
Listen,
realised...
I know female friends that can't even go on holiday together. After a week, it's over.
Yeah, no, it's...
The years of friendship is
hard.
done.
The competition's real.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Like proper. Okay, so you win the local one, amazing. And from that, you get a contract.
A modelling contract, yeah.
Right. And you're obviously happy about it then? So the confidence grows like instantly then, or?
I was happy that
that
my
can
mum was
boost-
happy. I felt like I'd made my mum proud.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And then you enter another one.
Yeah, Miss Liverpool, so that was the city one.
That's-
Entered Miss Liverpool.
Right, so you go into that one, and are the women more prettier in your eyes? How does it work?
More grown, more mature, just
Right.
more beautiful,
How old are you?
womanly. I was 18.
Right. Go in there, same shit, glam squads everywhere.
Yeah, I'd borrowed a dress again.
What one? The same dress? Lucky
Borrowed
dress, you know.
another dress.
Yeah.
And yeah, I couldn't believe it. I won. I couldn't believe
What
it.
do you have to do? Like,
So
it's not that question answering. No,
it's
that's
kind of like, yeah, you'll get questioned. You talk about what you like, what your hobbies are. I think most of us blagged it along the
on.
way and lied
Yeah,
a bit.
yeah,
probably told them that I finished school and went to
Yeah,
college.
yeah.
and
I've got
everything.
9 fucking GCSEs, 8-star. You know what I mean? Yeah. Right.
And yeah, there's different rounds, but I won it, and I couldn't believe it.
Were you? So you wasn't like thinking in your mind, I'm going to win this. You just did it
Absolutely
for mum.
not. No, and I thought that will be the last one I ever do. I just didn't want to do it anymore.
Is this a one-day event?
That was a one-day event, yeah.
And then you are Miss Liverpool.
Yeah.
That's big, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, you win that. That's like, come on, we
Big
love
city.
that. Mum must be chuffed.
She was dancing on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was buzzing. She was having the best time. Now I think about it, I think my mum was doing it so she could have a night out, you know.
Oh, come on, why not? Why not? And then what's the prize of that?
The prize of that was a cash prize that I never got.
What do you mean?
It happens a lot.
What?
It happens a lot.
Expose what?
Yeah, it happens a lot. There'll be sponsors that'll come along to beauty pageants and promise you a free holiday or a handbag.
And you don't get it?
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. But yeah, it was a cash prize that I never got.
What was the prize meant to be?
It was, if I remember rightly, it was £1,000, which was a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah. And you didn't get
it's
it?
a lot of money. No, never got
That's
it.
wrong, man.
Yeah.
That's wrong. Come on.
And
man.
I can't remember
Miss
the
Liverpool,
company, but
do better.
Adam, I remember your
No,
name.
Adam, shout.
You owe me a grand,
Tell him
okay?
his company. Come on, what's his company? I know you know
Bag of
it.
sand, Adam, come on.
Come on, mate. Drop it off, mate. Interest? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That £1,000 was in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That would have been in Bitcoin. So you owe us a couple mils, mate. Come on. Drop it off. Okay, so mum's really happy.
Yeah.
We love that. And then your confidence grows then?
Yeah, not really,
No?
no, because again, I'd look around the room and I'd see all the other girls chatting away and talking about what they were going to do later, and I would just be very quiet, sat in the corner, keeping myself to
I was in
myself.
like what they're going to go out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
whereas
you're not
I
really
just
out
wasn't
kinda
like
going?
that. No. I am now. Now I understand myself. I am an introverted extrovert.
I hear
So
that.
with the right people,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah.
But then you're not. You're just going home.
No, I just, I
Back
like
on
to
the,
keep myself to
you're
myself.
back on the Donkey Kong
Yeah.
at home, not doing nothing. Okay, cool. So then, do you enter Miss? Is there a bigger one than that then? Because Miss
There
Liverpool,
is, but I just didn't want to. I didn't want to do the pageants no more.
she
'cause I was
retired champion,
petrified.
innit? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
was
won this shit.
petrified.
See you later. Oh, really?
Yeah.
But why not though? The temptation, no? Because if you're winning.
I'd got a modelling contract, which meant I was getting paid work.
Oh, so that was part of the prize?
Yeah, yeah,
Right. You
Yeah.
signed to an agency?
yeah,
Okay, cool. So from there now, you're now modelling.
yeah.
So what type of shoots you doing?
I was doing billboard campaigns,
Oh,
like
amazing.
really big, all over the city, in the airports, which was amazing. Makeup, clothes, some quite high fashion stuff. I was,
Yeah.
yeah. still
And then
good.
just kind of talking about that world, how is it for like a young female that's good looking, surrounded with all of this stuff? Is it kind of hard to navigate?
I
do
think
you
for
trust?
me,
I've heard some stories.
yeah, I feel like it really worked well for me because of my autism and because of how much I struggle with people. I knew that when I was booked for a job, they wanted me. So
Right.
it didn't matter how low my confidence was. They've seen my pictures and they've booked me. And it was different then to how it is now. I know models now that go to castings and they're there with 300 people and they're in and out like through a revolving door
conveyor belt,
with
yeah.
someone just going, no, next,
Right.
next. When I was doing it, it was, you'd have a picture card, you'd have your model card that would be sent out or emailed to different companies and they would choose off your pictures. And if they wanted you, like, they'd just book you.
And then how much kind of money are you making at this time now? Is it you kind of...
I remember doing, I think it was a DFS advert for...
DFS is always on sale.
Yeah, yeah.
Why is there always a sale?
Always got
Hey,
a sale on.
24/7 sale.
Yeah.
These like try it, you know.
I'll live
Hurry
to
up,
see the
sale
end
ends
of
in
the sale.
April. April, come May, new sale. What the fuck? Okay, sorry, go on.
Well, yeah, do you know what? And I wasn't actually great for the job because I'm 5'10", I'm really tall.
Right.
And they tend to use smaller models for sofa adverts because then the sofa looks really big.
Right.
So I just remember being there this day on this tiny little sofa, being tall and lanky, and they were like, can you just crunch up a little bit more?
Yeah.
We're practically doing yoga in the corner
Yeah.
of the sofa. But it was £200 for the day, which I was like buzzing with.
Yeah, and you're still in the council estate.
Yeah, I was still at my mum's.
Okay, cool. And then DFS, what other ones are we doing then? What ones stick out for you? As
I'd done a Juicy Couture. I don't know if anyone's heard of
I know
Juicy
about Juicy
anymore, but it was a
Couture.
big Liverpool
No,
one. I'd
it's
done
still about,
Juicy.
you know,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Is that written on the bum? Juicy?
Yeah.
I heard about it.
I was doing the bikinis in a show, in a catwalk show, at a tennis tournament, and it was quite a big tennis tournament. They do it every year at Calderstones Park, and I was almost 19 at this point, and that's where I met my ex-husband.
Okay, put a pin in that because we're going to talk about that in a minute. Talking about, like, that's the good side. What about the bad side of this? Because I've had the models sit here saying it's very, like, you know, cameramen try it and there's always ulterior motives and it's very hard and it can be unsafe.
Yeah,
Thoughts on that, please?
I think it is absolutely true, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'd say just if there is anyone starting out modelling, always take an adult with you, even if you're 18, 19, if you can take someone with you, always go through a proper agency. But yeah, it can be cutthroat in that you're judged on the way that you look. So if a brand does not like your figure or your hair or your skin colour, what they're going to say it. Well, you know, you're not for us, and they're going to keep looking. And that can be hard. You've got to have a thick skin in it. And with the really more serious side of things, I've been there when, you know, when a photographer has
Yeah.
complimented me too much.
Yeah.
And you just kind of, that's not their job to do that. But yeah, I always stayed safe and just, I'd go in, do my job and leave.
And then are you always told to, I don't know, lose weight or do kind of, do you know what I mean? Was there pressure for that?
Yeah, I remember being told that I would only ever make it if I cut all my hair off by an agent. She said, if you really want to be a model, you're going to have to cut
She's
your
a
hair
hater.
into a
She's
box.
trying to hate
Yeah,
you
and
and
thank
get
God
you
I
out the
never
game.
did. Yeah, I never ever did. But I remember being a UK size 6, size 8, tiny,
Yeah.
and being told that I needed to go and lose weight.
Really?
Yeah.
And did you, or how did you take that? Do you know what I mean?
I took it personally. I took it quite hard, and I did fall into that trap of not eating so much and trying to stay tiny. Yeah.
Okay, so you're making money, you are looking after mum.
Yeah.
We love that. And then you meet your ex-husband.
Yeah.
Where's this at an event?
So at Calderstones Park in Liverpool, they have a really big tennis tournament every year, and I was modelling there. It was a bikini show, and my ex-husband was there in the audience with a mutual friend whilst he was having his dinner. And after the fashion show, our mutual friend invited me over to say hello, and that was it. We met that night.
Was he on TV then?
No, he was a stand-up comedian.
Okay, I didn't even know that. See,
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, cool. So then how quick do you get together and stuff?
We kept it casual for a while. I didn't want to be in a relationship. He was touring, doing his comedy. So we'd see each other, like, it'd be weeks apart, 4 or 5 weeks apart. So it wasn't intense. But I think that's why it worked.
Right.
You know, if it was that straight
Intense
away, if
for you
we
as
do,
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
if it had gone straight into a relationship, or like, that's it, we're together now, let's plan our lives,
Yeah.
I'd have probably run a mile. But because it was quite relaxed and we just laughed, we laughed loads, we looked forward to seeing each other, and then gradually it just built into a 15-year marriage.
We love that. How was the wedding?
Do you know what? It was amazing.
Yeah.
We got so lucky. We had the hottest day.
Right.
The wedding was massive. I didn't barely know anybody there, but it was huge.
Why don't you know anyone? Because you've got no friends, innit?
Because I've got no
You've
friends.
got Donkey Kong, that's it, like,
Thank
yo.
you.
Okay. So you were just there and they were all his friends?
Yeah, I had no more than 15 people from my family that I know. I think there was over 200 guests in total.
Yeah.
But it was an incredible day. It was amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We love that. And then his career kind of takes off.
Yeah.
How was it watching that unfold? Do you know what I mean? Because
Amazing.
he's doing stand-up,
Yeah.
which is one thing, and then he gets kind of, I guess the TV stuff starts coming in.
Yeah.
What was the first TV one he was getting?
Take Me Out was his big break.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Was he on TV prior to that?
He'd done Phoenix Nights, Max and Paddy
I don't know what that is.
with Peter Kay.
Right, okay.
So that was his friend comedian.
Right.
So Peter Kay had his show and brought him in on it.
We love that.
But his first big break, I'll never forget it. We were in TK Maxx buying cushions for the living room. And
For the DFS sofas that
Yeah,
you got for free,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But
do you
anyway.
know what? That weren't even a thing. At least now you might get a freebie.
Right.
The producer rang him and said, the dating show that we filmed, the pilot that we done, it's being taken with ITV. And he's like walking around nearly like knocking the vases off the shelves, going, amazing, I've got a dating show.
So that was his first kind of
Big one, yeah.
main question is, did you buy the cushions?
Do you know what? I don't think we did.
Come on.
I don't know. Yeah, true. I don't think we did. I think he was just too distracted and couldn't believe he
He's
got
like,
his
fuck
own
the
show.
cushions!
Yeah.
Fuck the cushions!
I'm owed a lot from my life, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so he goes on the show. How is it for you watching that? Obviously, it's a dating show. He's the main gentleman in it.
Yeah.
Surrounded by women. Does that bother you? Is that a thing? Is it not a thing?
No, not at all. Do you know what? I was so green back then. Now I think about it.
What do you mean by
was
green?
so
Naive.
naive.
Right.
Yeah, very, very naive, oblivious. It would never, ever have even crossed my mind that
Yeah.
anybody would flirt or that he would flirt. It just wouldn't have
Yeah, but
crossed
that's a
my
good way
mind.
to be, right?
Yes and no, because I think when you're aware, then you won't miss things. When you're oblivious,
Right, I hear you.
you might not see
Yeah, but
what's
then you
going
might
on in front
overthink
of
things
you.
as well.
True,
Do you know what I mean?
Whereas I was kind of just like, oh, amazing, he's got a show and he's happy.
The show obviously does amazing. It's
Yeah.
like
10 years.
like unbelievable
Yeah.
to the point where I don't think families sit at home and watch on a Saturday night. I think I can recall Blind Date, Gladiators, those type of shows, X Factor.
Yeah.
I think it's lovely to be part of that kind of heritage
Yeah.
of kind of UK shows that is not a thing anymore. But just kind of seeing it blow up, like how was that for you to witness? Do you know what I mean?
Amazing.
Because it's a household name now.
Yeah, yeah.
Like mainstream household name.
I think it's incredible to recognise, and I knew he was doing really, really well because he didn't know that it was going to go on for 10 years. He thought he was just doing this
Yeah,
one
you take it
series. So
series
then
by
every
series.
time it came back, we were like, brilliant, amazing, this
Yeah.
is great. But for me, I only ever knew him as Patrick.
Yeah.
So it is a bit like, yeah, that's Paddy on telly. I get it when everyone goes, oh, Paddy McGuinness, and that's amazing. But for me, it was just my husband going to work.
Yeah, but that's lovely though, right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
like the best. That's the best way to be, right?
Yeah, well, that is who he is to me. It's just, yeah, he's Patrick.
Yeah. But then obviously with fame comes everything else, right? Like, I don't know, the VIP stuff and I don't know, increase in money and stuff like that. I mean, you're obviously witnessing all that. How is that for you? Do you know what I mean?
It was amazing. The way it all happened, again, I think was perfect for me because of where I'd come from. It was quite a slow, steady build.
Right, it wasn't just a blow up. And
it didn't go overnight because he was never sure if it was ever coming back. And I'm sure his contracts towards the end, the money will have got a lot more than where it started. That tends to happen. So yeah, we were quite humble. We were living in Bolton for about 8 years. We lived in just an average size detached, and then it was years before we kind of went, okay, let's move, let's get somewhere bigger.
Let's order that Hermes bag. You know what I mean? I'm due.
I wish I had a Hermes.
I am due. You know what I mean? Okay, amazing. So he does amazing things, and then is there pressure for you now to be more out there then? Do you know what I mean? Because wherever he is, you're pictured with him, you look a certain way, the glamour is very, you know.
No, but do you know why I think there was no pressure? Because I didn't really go anywhere. So I became, again, I kind of fell back, withdrawn within myself.
Okay.
Very reclusive in my 20s.
Right. So why was that? Is that just how you are, or was it a pressure that you didn't want to, I don't know.
I think, again, being undiagnosed autistic, I didn't understand people and the world. And when he would go to events and he'd get invited to red carpets and things, I would always just be like, oh, no, you go, I don't want to do that. Like, it would never...
Oh, you wouldn't want to go?
No, never. I never ever thought that I would step foot on a red carpet in front of all those people.
And you didn't have the fear of, like, missing out or anything?
No, God, no. For me, that just seemed like my worst nightmare.
But then you had the experience of modelling and being out there, and so did that not...
Yeah, but that was in a studio on my own.
No, but like the pageants and stuff.
The pageants, I'd done those 2 and then left because I didn't like it.
Right.
So then I stuck to just working on my own, and that worked for me because you never had to bump into the same people twice. You'd go on a shoot on your own most of the time.
Okay.
You'd leave.
So you're just telling him, don't worry, you crack on.
I'm just like, yeah, you're good. I'll mind the dog. I'll stay here with the dog.
But then I'm presuming he's in London a lot, and you're still...
lot.
So then is a distance an issue then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is that the start of the cracks then? I don't want to get too personal.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to answer, please don't answer. Let me just say that now.
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it. I think about it a lot, and I think most people do unpick the past, especially when you've gone through a divorce and you think, could it have been different? But at the time, he was very work focused. His work was in London an awful lot. We lived in Bolton, and I wasn't really thinking, what could I do, or should I be there, or anything. I just kind of let him do his thing and let him enjoy it. But looking back now, I wonder if had we have spent more time together, would it have helped or not? Might have been worse, you don't know.
But are you kind of feeling lonely, or is it not a thing? You just...
I think once I had the children, that's when I really started to feel it.
Right. Because of the help? Is it?
Because then... Obviously, my full-time job then was to be mum, and being up all night and doing everything all day is a lot for any parent, anyone will tell you, but especially when your children have got development delays and they've got multiple hospital appointments every week, and a lot of it I was doing on my own because Patrick was working. And we both kind of fell into this role of, okay, well, he'll go out and his priority will be to provide and look after us in that way. My priority was to keep a good routine and be the consistent one at home. But
can you kind of appreciate his hands were kind of tired? He couldn't really have if he had turned his back on that, then he wouldn't. Yeah. Even now, still today, I fully support his career. Yeah. Still, massively. I think to get as far as he's got and do as well as he's doing is incredible anyway. And long may it continue, because that divorce was expensive. What was it? Give me my... Oh man, you're gonna make me ask you. I have to ask you. All right, the Top Gear stuff's afterwards, right?
Top Gear, Top Gear came along.
But you're divorced by now?
No.
Oh, okay.
Still married, yeah.
Okay, cool. So all right, let's talk about Top Gear, British institution, right? Everyone knows it. He lands that.
Yeah.
What's that feeling like?
Oh my God. I think this was the first time I really felt the pressure for him.
Right.
Like, I really did. I think with Take Me Out, he was kind of winging it, and he was kind of like,
Yeah.
look, if it does well, it does well.
But it was his show. It was based around him.
Top
He could
Gear's
be
big shoes.
Top Gear, big shoes.
Big shoes.
It's a British institution. It's global.
Yeah, but I wanted it for him so bad. I remember thinking about it at the time. Like, I think Take Me Out had just finished.
Right.
And we agreed it was the perfect time.
So did he just get asked to audition? How's it work? How's it work?
Yeah. Well, they'll have had loads of people in. Obviously, they know when presenters are coming and
Yeah.
going, so they will have known that they needed a new
Right.
lineup. And they seen a lot of people, and he was on the list, and he got it, and it was just incredible. And I think, was it 4 years he done it for?
Yeah.
And he had the best 4 years. He loved it. He's travelled the world. He's done things that he would never
Doesn't
have
even
done.
seem like a job, does it? It seems like
Exactly.
just
He
have a
was
laugh
just
and-
having the best time.
Yeah.
I was happy for him. Absolutely buzzing for him. He loved it.
Yeah, and then you're still with him, right? But then he's away a lot filming,
Yeah.
and you still got the pressure at home.
Yeah.
So is it coming on top for them? Is it the
It started getting more difficult when our third one came along, because the twins were still really young. I had 3 babies in 3 years.
yeah?
And
Get them out of the way, innit?
yeah, and now I'm glad because
Yeah,
they're all similar age.
Yeah.
But they'd started school, and I was feeling a little bit more lonely because I had an empty house for these few hours.
Big
during
house
the
though, innit?
day. Gorgeous house. It's a gorgeous house.
is it-
I absolutely love it.
That Top Gear money, come on. Okay.
Yeah, but it comes with consequences. I'm still living with my ex-husband
Okay.
in that house.
We'll talk about that, right? But go on.
So then I started working,
Okay.
and that's when I started
doing
getting my
what?
foot out the door.
What was you doing?
I was approached by the Real Housewives of Cheshire,
Yep.
which moved from Bolton to Cheshire just so that the commute was easier for him, going backwards and forwards to London, so that he could be at home more around the children. And I just thought, do you know what, I'm going to go for it, because where else am I going to make friends, and where am I going to dress up and get to do my hair and makeup?
Right.
You know, and maybe it's my time to just do a bit of something. So I started with the Real Housewives of Cheshire. And
He wasn't in that though, was he?
No,
Right.
he wasn't in it. I loved it just because I was close to home. I could go
Right.
to work, I could take the children to school, and I was always local and around. So
And with that, you know, the storylines are they kind of, how does it work? Because
Crazy.
I know Towie's a bit like forced in the way it's done. How is the Real Housewives? How does it work?
nothing's forced. Nothing's forced.
But
There's-
scenarios are kind of
you'd be sort of nudged to discuss a conversation that you might not want to, and things
Right.
like that.
and it's all kind of just natural, whatever unfolds.
Yeah, your thoughts and opinions, obviously, of your
Yeah.
own, and that's where I struggled, and I left after 2 years because I didn't want to talk about what so and so had said
Right,
to so
right,
and
right.
so and all. I
Yeah.
didn't want it, so I was
Yeah.
kind of going, oh God, don't ask me to say,
Right.
you know.
But what? No fights because there's got
Not
to be a
for
couple.
me, but I've seen.
What? No hair pulls, no bags,
No,
no
God,
Hermes
no.
bags getting swung.
No.
Swing anything, but not the Hermes.
But the drama's real.
Is
The
it, yeah?
drama on the show is real. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I saw something recently where one of the cast members was on a date, and did you see that?
No.
It was a dating show, Celebs Go Dating or something.
Was it First Dates? Was it Lauren?
First date, yeah.
I think Lauren's done
and
it.
she said like, you're meant to know who I am or something. I literally cringed in my seat and I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
What did you see that?
I've seen the clip.
Okay, thoughts on it, please. Do you know this girl personally?
It's very Lauren. Lauren
Oh, so- okay,
is,
so
yeah,
you know her.
she's sound. Yeah, Lauren is, she's loud and she's
But
bubbly.
Come
and
on.
If you're from Cheshire, at least you know Lauren. And I think the fella who was on a date with her was local enough to maybe have known her or heard
Oh, so you
of
think
her.
he should have known her?
Well, I don't assume anyone should know anyone, but
that's what I
obviously
mean, like,
Lauren
you-
assumed that he should know her.
Would you? Have you ever said to anyone, do you know her?
I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it.
Man, when I saw that, my balls went inside of me. I was like, oh my God, why would you do that?
It's Lauren though. That's her character. Even if she didn't mean it, I'm not shocked that Lauren said it.
Because part of me thought that's a planned thing. It's very clever because you know you're going to get news by saying things like that.
True.
Could that be a thing?
We're talking about it now. It could have been a PR stunt.
Hey, you get tactical.
Yeah, clever girl.
Okay, cool. So you step out, you go on this show, you enjoy it. Paddy's still doing So now you're now starting to become more of a name based on him. How are you finding that? More press attention on you and kind of, do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? It was okay because it was kind of just always about, oh, what's she wearing today? Or, you know, there was
Right.
never anything too bad.
Right.
And it was a slow burner. It wasn't like overnight I was everywhere. It was
Yeah.
kind of like I'd done bits. And
But you're getting more media attention,
Yeah.
more press, and now I suppose you are stepping on
Yeah.
kind of red carpets now.
yeah. And then we started doing more together, like going to events together if we could, if my mum could have the children. And that was nice, you know, because we hadn't done that when they were younger.
But you know, sometimes now you're firmly mixing
Yeah.
the two together. Would it have been, in hindsight, a fine thing if you just kind of kept it separate?
I don't know. I don't know if it would
Obviously-
be better or worse if we'd have always done everything together, or if
Right.
it would have been maybe the way it was is the way it was supposed to be. And I think that's how I feel was best, because I would have found it all too much trying to juggle work and status and
Right.
press whilst being a mum when the kids were little.
Right, and then the pressure of being a celeb couple, how is
Yeah.
that? Because then now you've got added pressure, right? Everyone's kind of rooting for you, I guess, like they're a nice couple, etc.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
think,
mean?
You know, after we'd done our documentary, we'd done a documentary at the BBC.
Yeah, about the autism, right?
Yeah. And I think the nation loved us.
They really,
loved
yeah,
us.
it would
and
appear so.
Yeah, they did. They really loved us. They could see that
It's,
we,
you know,
we were a good mum and dad, and
lovely
we loved each other, and
family.
we loved the kids,
Yeah.
and you know, we just wanted what's best for them. And yeah, so I suppose when it didn't work out for us as a couple, it was big news.
Yeah. Was it extra pressure though? Is what I'm trying to get at. Do you know what I mean? Because you had the whole country, I suppose, backing you. Do you know what I mean?
I never looked at it like that.
Right.
I just didn't really ever think about what anybody else
Yeah.
thinks. I just kind of was happy with us as a family and a couple, and our work was going well.
And then you don't have to answer this, but what was the straw that broke the camel's back? Sorry for asking.
We
Swerve it if you want.
I've never spoke about the reasons for our divorce.
Okay.
And I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
don't know
I'm
if
not
I
trying
ever
to
will
push it.
speak
I'm not trying to
about
get it
it.
out of you.
But yeah, it was a difficult time. It wasn't something that, you know, I just decided to do overnight or that we chose to do. We tried, and yeah, there just unfortunately there was no repair in it. You know, I'll always love him as the father of my children, and I still live at home with him, which says a lot. You know, we separated 3 years ago, and we are completely divorced, and we live in separate parts of the house, but we share a family home.
It's
and
a
we
big
share
house,
children.
mate.
It's a
He's
big
in the west
house.
wing. You're in the east wing. You know what I mean? Whose choice was it? Was it a joint choice, or was someone more kind of? Sorry to ask again.
No, I think we both just knew, like, that there was no going back. There was things that were happen, you know, that were just unforgivable for me.
Right. Those
so-
things are not known, right?
No,
Okay, cool.
rumoured.
Right. Okay.
Rumoured
So-
but never confirmed. And I don't think I will ever say, because he's the father of my children.
Right. Sorry, does that mean another person's in the picture?
I couldn't possibly.
No, I don't mean
no.
you, but is that the rumour? I don't know.
There was lots
Okay.
of rumours,
okay.
and I think that was hard. I think that was difficult for me to deal with.
Right.
That was really, really difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You said earlier it was an expensive divorce. You said it, not me.
It was.
Okay.
It was.
So then do things get messy?
Yeah, there was times where it was fine and really civil, and we were agreeing on what we wanted and what
Right.
we were doing, and then there was times where it felt like we were starting all the way back at the beginning.
Right.
But yeah, it's the biggest bill I have ever paid in my life, and I will say that I paid for my own divorce, nobody else.
What do you mean you pay for your one divorce?
I think people assume that that the man pays for your lawyers, or
Well,
whoever's in,
hold on,
more
hold on,
will
hold
pay
on.
the legal
Okay.
fees.
He's not going to pay for your lawyers to attack him, is he?
No,
do you
but
know
I
what
think
I'm
people
saying?
assume that if you're
Right.
going through a divorce with someone who earns a hell of a lot of money,
Right.
that your legal fees will be covered, or
Okay.
they will cover the costs or
So-
something. But it doesn't work like that.
the devil's advocate in me will have to ask. Some people will say you're not entitled to half because he made it. What do you say to that?
Didn't get half, didn't ask for half.
Okay, okay. I don't know the ins and outs. I got to ask.
No, I didn't,
Okay,
didn't
so
get
then-
half and I didn't ask for half.
Could you not just come to an arrangement then between each other? It didn't work then because it's
Yeah, I think both of us now, if we could sit down and do it again, yeah, we'd do it completely differently.
Right.
Because we both spend like a hell of a lot of money on divorce lawyers.
how much do you spend roughly? You have to tell me. Six figures.
Me personally, £300,000
300 grand on a lawyer.
out of my own money that I didn't
Oh.
even have.
I would have done it for 50.
Would you have divorced me for £50?
No, I would have represented you for 50k all day long. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. But then that would then it's like a bit of it's a battle then, is it? Then if you're spending that much money, it's bitter then, isn't it?
It was just
Do you know what I mean?
we got expensive lawyers. So
But you
every
must have
single
got them because
email-
things are very bitter. You don't just go, "Hey, I have 300 grand." There's a problem then, isn't it?
I probably wouldn't have gone down that route.
Right.
I got someone to represent me that was equal to who was representing him. Because
Oh, so you found out his lawyer first and went,
Yeah.
"Oh, you going for right
Yeah,
then?
yeah.
Let me just cool up."
I
Okay.
didn't have £300,000
Right.
to spend on divorce.
Right.
I'm still paying for it.
Okay. Right. Fair enough. And then it all gets sorted, but you're living in the same house. Explain
Yeah.
that, please.
We both own the property. We both own the property. No one won it. There was no win. No one wins in divorce anyway. Neither of us fought for
Don't they
it.
give a percentage like a half or something?
Percentage, yeah, if we were to sell it, but we've both chose to live in it.
Right. Is that stubbornness from both of you, or
It's what we think is best for the kids for now, not forever.
okay?
Or because they struggle with change.
Right.
They've never even had a sleepover in anybody else's
Sure,
house.
sure.
So for our children to go from mummy's house to daddy's house and with no set routine in place because we both work all over the place, it wouldn't be fair on them. So they know where their home is and their bedrooms and all of their things, and it doesn't matter what day of the week they come home from school, they know where they're going.
So that's really lovely.
Yeah.
Firstly, let's just have that right. It's lovely that the kids come first. Can one of you not buy it from the other one? I've got to ask because I'm going to get comments going. "Ew." Sorry to ask, by the way.
I would
If
like
it's
to
too
know
personal,
the
just tell me to
same.
shut up. Do you know what I mean?
No, I certainly cannot. I certainly could not buy them out. If I could, of course I would.
Okay.
And I can't speak for
How many
him.
bedroom is this house? Because you're painting a picture like it's Windsor
It
Castle here. You know what I mean?
is.
It is. You know what I mean? No.
I've got to count the rooms.
Oh, shut up! It can't.
3, 1, 2, 3.
No, you're taking a piss. Yeah.
Then Teddy's room, then Nanny's room. And there's, I think there's 7 or 8.
You don't even
I think
know.
there's 8. Oh, because there's
You don't even know the bedrooms.
Yeah,
in your
because I'm
house.
thinking of the rooms that we haven't got as bedrooms, but could be bedrooms.
Okay.
Like if I was to market it, it's a 12-bedroom property.
It's a 12-bedroom property. Are you fucking mad? Hey, I'm moving in as well. What's going on? It's 12 bedrooms. No wonder why you ain't moving out.
To move out.
The
there's no
the
point.
upkeep must be fucking horrendous.
Do you know what? It's a really beautiful family home. It's nice and cosy, about the size of this room, and we all just.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. No, that's okay. So it must be expensive to upkeep then. So then who kind of upkeeps it? You half in it? Sorry to get personal, but I'm actually curious now.
It's an agreement between me and him.
Okay. Fair enough. And then I suppose some might say that's lovely then, because then if you're around each other, perhaps this could be sorted. Could that be? Is it no?
For me right now, I can only speak for me. For me right now, my priority is just giving myself some time. Just
You've had
being
3 years.
me.
How long do you want?
I know, but I honestly, I feel like I'm only just like getting out the door as myself.
She really likes the slow burning thing.
I do.
innit?
I
She's
really,
a
no, I
slow
really
burner.
do. I'm a slow burner with everything. It takes me forever to do anything.
Right.
But yeah, like I've only just been able to like feel comfortable with going, I'm single.
Right.
For years I've been going, I'm separated. You know,
Yeah.
like, I'm not available. I'm just separated.
Right.
Whereas now I'm like, yeah, no, do you know what? I'm single.
And then telling the kids, do you tell them or do you not bother because you're all in the house?
We've never spoke about it because the children don't fully understand relationships anyway.
Right.
Part of the development delay, as clever as they are,
Yeah.
they're so clever in so many areas, but with like common sense type things, you know, or things that they might pick up on. All they know is that we're all family and, you know, mummy and daddy
Are you worried about school, like friends telling them or anything like that? Or?
I think more so recently as they're getting older, I'm thinking more and more, you know, one day we might have to speak to them. But I think until we know that it's going to affect them, say, for example, we were going to move house or one of us was going to move out, then that's a time that we need to sit down and explain to the children. But right now, their life is exactly the same as it was before.
Would you move out? Or are you stubborn with it?
No, God, no, I'm not stubborn at all. And I never
Okay.
even fought for the house. I never asked for it. I would have loved to have kept it just for me and the children, but I didn't think I was entitled to at all.
But then you could have just told your lawyer, I don't want the house. Let them
I
have
was
it.
just more like
Do you know what I mean?
happy for us to share. We'd already discussed that we were happy to share the house to keep the children in the same house and that we both had the same entitlement to be in and out as mum and dad.
Okay.
And that works for us.
Is the house literally that big that you don't even see in some days? Because you're painting some, you know what I mean?
Well, no, it's a nice detached property.
Yeah, 12 bedrooms. Okay, fair enough. It's all good. Sorry, I got to ask. Okay, but now you're starting to step out and do your own thing, become your own person, your own brand. How is that for you then? Like to kind of carve your own path?
I think I believe in the universe. I know you'll think I'm nuts,
No,
but I do. I
go
believe
on.
in the universe, and I think
Like, what's that? The manifestation and stuff?
everything just kind of I trust my path.
Right.
I trust my path completely, and as hard and as difficult things have been at times, I think everything happened at the right time. And when I got busier with work, things were struggling at home, and I was able to take
Channel your
myself
energy.
away from that and go and do something really positive. A lot
Yeah.
of the work I do is around autism and neurodiversity, so I was able to go and do something good that, you know, I felt good, I felt wanted and loved being there wherever I was doing.
And then just kind of leaving the kids a lot, well, not a lot, but you've got to leave them to go and come to London and stuff like that. How kind of hard is that?
And again, that's where I feel like it just fell perfectly, because for years and years I could not leave the children. I wouldn't go out overnight. I wouldn't go to the post office without
Right.
taking all of the kids. Whereas now I'm busy and I'm working, it's no problem for me to say to them, you know, Mummy's going to be gone for a couple of nights, and I'll do them a calendar with pictures on, and I'll put photos on of when Mummy's home and when Daddy's home.
So
and a
then who's
picture
there
of-
then? Sorry.
Yeah, so depends on who's in the house.
Right.
I'll make
Who's
a
in the West
calendar.
Wing looking after them?
Right now, my
Yeah.
mum.
Okay.
So
that-
so if Patrick's working and I'm working, then I ask my mum. But most of the time, we
And
sort
mum
it.
is based in bedroom, what, 7, 8?
My mum.
What bedroom
My
is
mum's got her own room. She loves it.
You know what I mean? Oh, annex in the back, 3-bedroom annex, you know what I mean?
I have got an annex.
See?
I had to explain to someone what an annex was the other day, and
Really?
I felt, you know, and you feel yourself going, oh,
Yeah.
how do you say that it's
How
like
that
a
big is the annex?
it's a flat in your house, isn't it? Basically, that's what an annex is. But I
Exactly.
didn't want to say that out loud because I felt like it.
I know,
Like,
I've
I'm
seen this
not
house.
showy off it. I'm from a council estate,
No, no.
so for me, the annex is like
Enough, innit?
I could live in it.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
fine in it. Maybe not with the kids.
Right.
I'll
and
rent it. Maybe I should rent
You
it.
should-
off
why
my
do you
ex-husband,
rent
yeah.
it?
I'll just have that.
Rent it out. You know what I mean? That's amazing. Okay, cool. You were in a relationship. I think it was in public. I did a little Google.
No, we're not discussing
You wasn't.
that
Oh, what with someone
with
else?
anyone.
Okay, sorry. You're swerving that.
Never been in a relationship.
Okay, cool. But you've been pictured with people.
I've dated.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's the
dated.
word. You was in a relationship. Allegedly. Dated.
Yeah.
How was that then for you then? Just kind of venturing out.
Took me a while to even think about spending time with anybody else.
Right.
Because I'd been with one person for 15 years.
Yep.
I started at 19 and then suddenly I was single in my 30s
Yeah.
and it was just a completely different life. And I weren't looking for no one, and I'm still not. I just didn't want anything serious. I quite like my life. I quite my work's good. I like my own time, and being around other people is something that I'm still trying to be okay with, but I'm very, very open-minded when it comes to dating now. It's took me 3 years to be like okay with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, now it's fun and I enjoy it now and again, but
Right.
I don't, no relationship.
So then getting on kind of like TV shows and stuff, because now you start, because the Cheshire stuff stops, and then you get, what did you get?
Documentaries then.
Right, the documentary's finished, and then you go on, is it the gaming show? There's a game show, right?
Yeah.
The game, right. So talk to us about that. How did you get that?
I'd done a couple of little different bits of telly. The Real for Monty was the first thing that I'd done.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
separately.
Okay, amazing. So you get the opportunity to go on the Real Full Monty.
Yeah.
Do you accept that straight away, or
No.
because that's a scary thing, right?
Yeah, so the Real for Monty was the first thing that I'd done on my own. That
Right.
was not with another group of women or with family.
Right.
With Patrick. This was just me on my own going into a room full of other celebs. Didn't know anybody else. When I walked in there, I was like,
Yeah.
why am I even here?
Right.
Definitely had that kind of imposter syndrome, thinking,
Yeah.
why have I been asked to do this? But I really wanted to do it because it was for cancer.
Yep.
My mum was going through chemotherapy at the time for breast cancer.
Right.
So I wanted to do it, but I remember spending one day with everybody training to learn the dance routine, and we were all supposed to be staying over in a hotel, and that night
There was flower pans on the bed, innit?
neither one. No, how do you know?
That's it. I was there, purple Aki. No,
I'm trying to
joking.
remember
I'm
if that was
joking.
in the show or not. I rolled the
Oh,
rug
swear.
up off the
Oh,
floor because it had like
Oh shit.
flowers all over
See?
it. And there was cushions everywhere. I put all them in the cupboard.
Right.
There was pictures on the walls. I took them down.
Right.
Because it was like one of the first times I'd stayed in a hotel.
Right,
I just
right.
couldn't bear it. So then I went outside. It was around midnight. I went outside and sat in my car. And I just remember sitting in my car thinking, I can't do it. I'm
Right.
not doing it. I can't do it. I'm going home. And Ashley Banjo was our teacher, and he was outside on the phone, and he just sort of looked at me and he was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like,
I'm
"Oh,
doing a
nowhere,
runner."
nowhere, I'm not."
Oh, you said I'm not going.
Yeah, and then I just sort of panicked, and then I was embarrassed that I was even panicking about it. So I went back in and I acted normal, and thank God I made some really, really good friends. Duncan being one of them.
Hold on. So if Ashley wasn't there, you would have drove home.
I don't know what I would have done, but yeah, my plan was to
Oh
maybe
really?
leave. Yeah.
And obviously just knowing that you're gonna stand in front of a crowd, like that's thing as well, like naked, like all of these factors for someone that's autistic, and you're saying all of these, like that appears like a complete red flag.
Yeah.
How the hell do you overcome? Is it just a day by day thing, or what is it? Or do you train your mind from? I don't know.
No, I had the biggest meltdown on the day of the live show. I was worried about messing up and letting everyone down, and everyone else was worried about their bodies.
Right.
Whereas that didn't even cross my mind.
Oh, it didn't? Okay.
Not because I was confident, because I wasn't. I wasn't confident at all. It was just, for me, I was thinking, okay, well, I know that bit at the end. I know what I've got to do. And that's fine.
And you prepared your mind for doing that, because that's...
Yeah,
right.
it was the steps of getting to that point that I couldn't remember. And I
Right.
just kept thinking, I'm going to mess this up. I'm going to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let everyone down. And there's a whole live audience plus the audience of millions of people watching on the telly.
Just overthinking it.
It was a lot. It's scary.
Right.
Yeah, scary.
And then you do it.
I done it.
How was that feeling for you?
I was relieved. As soon
Oh,
as
you
it was
relieved?
over, I was so relieved.
Okay.
Yeah. I got really lucky. That's where I met Duncan, who is now my best friend, Duncan
Yes.
from Blue. Because he saw me struggling and he didn't judge, he didn't question anything. He just kind of went, look, come on, you're going to be fine. Come with me. And yeah, he was like my wingman.
But it was really nice to see, like, you actually stood up and did it,
Yeah,
and you did
I
it for
did.
your mum. That
I
must
did.
have been lovely. Do you know what I mean?
did, yeah.
And then you move on to
The games.
the games
from
was
there.
next. Do these just come in then? Like, does these offers just come in? How does
Yeah,
it work? Do
yeah.
you get DMs from people like, oh, I'm doing this, or do you get agent?
Yeah,
How does
so,
it-
sometimes you do, but I got a management. Once I started doing more and more telly, I got a management.
Yeah.
And yeah, they asked me if I was interested in doing a sports show. I was doing a lot of fitness at home. Fitness became like my therapy, like most people say, and it really was for me. I was in the gym every single day.
Yeah.
And the games came back on ITV and I was asked to do it. And I
Yeah.
just thought, do you know what? When am I ever going to
Do it, yeah.
get paid to do what I enjoy doing?
Yeah.
You know, so I went and done it and I had the best time. Absolutely loved it.
What was the hardest thing to do?
The hardest thing, the diving. I'm not good at heights.
Right.
Really not good
Yeah.
at heights. And I was new to everything because as much as I was in the gym, I'd never done sport, and
Right.
there was people there that had. So there was running, there was swimming, diving, wall climbing. Again, the heights I didn't love, but yeah, a lot of it I hadn't done. I was really, really good on the velodrome, and I was great with the javelin,
Yeah.
and I don't know how, but
That
I was
strength,
good at
boy,
that.
that Liverpool strength.
The weight training I'd done, so I
Yeah.
suppose that helped. I was good with the weights, but it felt like I had a second chance at being at school,
Okay.
and I loved it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. It was like doing PE every day with your mates. You all got on,
Yeah.
and you'd all stay in a hotel and laugh about it all night and go, "Can you believe we're getting paid to do this?"
And the hotel was fine. There was no flower bedding or nothing.
Do you know what the hotels? It's still one of my favourite hotels.
That's it. What was it? My best hotel. You know what I mean? Just so then, how is it for you now coming out of your show and being known for being you? Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're not.
Yeah. Do you know what I just
Paddy's wife, or you know what people.
I'm so grateful, no matter what. I'm so grateful. Genuinely, I can't believe the opportunities I get every single day. I can't believe it. I can't believe that I get invited onto telly, onto podcasts. I get invited to do photo shoots. I feel very, very lucky and blessed. And I think even seeing other people coming in and out of the industry over the last couple of years, I'm watching it myself, how quickly it can change and it can move.
Yeah.
I just
It's alright. Good.
can we? Well, that's gonna mess you up,
That's
isn't it?
fine. Go on.
With where coming in, seeing other people go in and out of the industry over the last couple of years, I think I'm just so grateful.
It's very cutthroat, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and I don't take it for granted. And I don't expect people to know who I am. I don't expect to get called for a show.
Right.
So when I do, I'm just like, oh, great.
Are there any shows that you would love to do?
There is one that I'm doing this year, which I can't tell you about.
Oh, come on, man. Lay it off. Why not?
But
Can I know it though?
you'll know it. I'll tell you later.
Can you write it down so I can just know?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You can give your reaction.
I love knowing things that other people don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So I'm going to be really, really
And
busy.
it's lovely that you trust me, you know, because I don't even know this lady. I'll be honest. I'm not going to do anything bad, but it's nice. Because this could no, because it's going to leak and then she's going to blame me and say it was you. Because nobody else knew. I swear.
But I'm so looking forward to this. I am looking forward to it. And that's why.
Okay. That's a very bold move though.
Well, do you know what? I just think, fuck it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Do it properly.
yeah, but the bit in brackets is okay. And that's obviously your choice.
Yeah.
But did they ask you and you said I want the brackets, or it'll make sense later? Or did they come with the brackets?
I think I'm just going to see how I feel when I get there.
Okay,
But I want to give myself the best chance.
but you're not under no pressure to like.
No, there's no contract.
Okay,
it's up
you
to me.
can do it.
Yeah.
Okay, and when's that happening?
In summer.
Okay. Oh, come on, exclusive, exclusive. And then any other shows that you would love to do that you haven't got?
I want to do more documentaries. They're my passion projects. They're
Right.
what really, really matter to me. But anything with experience, anything that's going to,
What do you mean with
push
experience?
me. Like the jungle, like Strictly,
Yeah.
that stuff that I know part of me is going to hate. But I know how much growth I get from doing things that really, really push me.
What would be your top one if someone said you could go on any one?
Oh.
And it's,
Strictly, I would still get to see my children. The jungle's on the other side of the planet.
would you do the jungle? though?
So
The opportunity is massive though, isn't it?
it's a big
Yeah,
opportunity and I
she's
got
doing it.
bills to pay.
I need heating in my 10th bedroom, man.
Give me that kangaroo dick. I'll put it in my mouth.
What would you do? The textures is mad.
I would really struggle.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'd be going back with no stars.
The textures would be mad. Like you
we're
would
all-
try it though, wouldn't
We're
you?
all gonna go hungry.
But you would try it though, wouldn't you? Can I ask, obviously you still carry the same surname. It's
Yes.
almost like you've got the Cheryl Cole syndrome, where like the kind of name, the second name is synonymous to you. Obviously you're not with Paddy anymore, so how is that for you? Because you're kind of Christine McGuinness.
Yeah, but that's obviously what I'm known as.
Yeah.
But that's not what I was born
No,
as.
of
Obviously,
course.
I'm married into that name, and that's our family name.
Right.
And I don't feel under any pressure from him or from anybody to change
Right. So
it.
he hasn't said, listen, swerve the name.
No, God,
Okay.
no. I think he'd be upset if I did because 15 years. That's not a failed marriage.
Yeah.
We've done
No,
really well,
no.
and we still get on, and we've got our gorgeous kids from it. So
Yeah.
that was the best. But I want the same name as my children.
Yeah, no, it's lovely
Simple
because
as that. I
I'm
want
just
the
saying,
same
you know,
name as my children.
there's some people might say,
Yeah.
oh, she's not even married to him anymore.
Yeah,
why
yeah.
is she taking his name
But
and
what I
carrying on?
will say though, because people ask me on social media with the on Instagram, I can't change it. So if I could change it, I would, and I have tried to. I have tried
would
to
change it?
my name. Yeah.
Are you on
Not
TikTok?
my legal name.
Are you on
but
TikTok?
It's the same.
It's the same.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't change it then because you're.
No, I
because-
can't.
No, on TikTok you can, I think. On TikTok
No,
you can,
I
but
can't. It's when you've got a blue tick. Sorry, just so that it's
sorry,
more for
sorry,
everyone.
mate, you know,
Yeah,
when
so
you get
yeah,
given that
because I
tick.
know people will be going, you can change your name. If you've got a blue tick, you can't change it. It says that you have to go through Meta, and I haven't got any friends at Meta yet. But
yet.
yeah, if anyone at Meta's watching, I would love to change my Instagram name.
But just having a name, like you're kind of happy with it because people will say, oh, she's just hanging off the name, or you know that people.
No, I think most people are more like they know now. Surely, like
Yeah.
it would be a lot to
No,
change
I
my
know-
name because
I know, but
kids.
I'm just saying like the rebrand would be, I suppose, from like a commercial point of view, would be difficult. You know
Yeah,
what
I don't know. I don't know because I was talking to someone about this the other day. Was it Billie Piper who was married to Chris Evans when she was younger?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Does anyone really remember that now?
No, but
So
she was
many
Billie
years
Piper
later,
then,
she's
though.
got her own career and she was a teenager.
No, but hold on.
Young.
She was Billie Piper first, then she met Chris Evans. And,
Yeah.
But she kept Billie Piper.
Oh, did she always keep it? Well, I came into the industry as Christine McGuinness.
Yeah, but that's
so-
what I mean. That's what I mean. But it's fine. I just had to address that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but no, I don't feel anything about. I'm not that connected to my name. I changed my name when I was younger, before I got married. So
Okay.
yeah, McGuinness is the longest name I've had.
It's a long name, but I'll take it. It's as long as my corridor's in my house, and that's a long fucking corridor. Let's talk about this new show you're on. Can you kind of break it down? Celebrity Hunted. It looks amazing. I've seen a few episodes. Just for those that may not have seen it, and can you just break down the premise of the show?
So 12 celebrities go on the run and they are being hunted by people that are real life detectives or SAS, like they are trained properly to catch the celebrities.
Right.
The celebrity's job is to run and hide all over the country and not get caught
Right.
for as long as possible with no money, with no phone.
No money, no
clothes,
phone.
No food. You've got your bag
Right.
with your clean knickers in.
Right. They got to be clean.
And
Yeah.
that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
No phone and no.
Nothing.
But that seems fairly easy then to catch you.
Well, how are they going to catch you?
Well, because you can't go anywhere. Where are you gonna go?
Run, move, keep moving, because they're chasing you. So the 12 celebrities on this series, we pulled up in a train
Right.
with our little bags and we were in pairs. So I was with Duncan,
Right.
who's my closest friend,
Right.
and you stick in your pair. Once our train pulled up, we heard the helicopter coming down and we knew that
So
the
you've got a
hunters
head
are
start
on
of what? 20 minutes?
them. No, not minutes.
What?
No,
You've got to have some.
no, there's seconds behind you.
So they've got cars and everything.
Yeah, they've got cars.
This
they've
seems
got
like the show will end
helicopters.
in episode 1 because they just
Yeah.
get in the cars and be like, find these motherfuckers with backpacks.
Yeah, but you just scatter.
And then how did you get paired with Duncan? Because he's your friend.
I asked Duncan to do it with me.
Oh, so they ask you to pick
Yeah,
who
yeah.
you want.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, amazing. Yeah, it just seems like so you're put in the middle of nowhere and you just go off.
You've just got to go.
So then how do you survive then?
Beg, steal, borrow.
Really? It's like that?
We begged. We asked a lot. We literally ran out. Eventually, we found a little road to run out onto, and people were going past in cars, and we were, flagging people down and asking for a lift, and yeah.
And then do you end up in some weird places then?
All over the place. We spent a night in somebody's attic for around 24 hours, hiding in somebody's attic.
Is that worrying because they're strangers,
Yeah.
or is it a bit like, hold on, they wouldn't just let you, like, there's a health and safety issue here, surely.
Yeah.
You don't just go to my man's farm in the corner and go, hey.
No, you are literally winging it. You've got to knock on doors or try and
Really?
plug your way into a hotel. Yeah, just ask anyone to help you.
Right.
Now, if you can hitchhike your way without being caught to your friends or your families, then great, you might have a bed for the night with someone that you know, but doing that, you're putting yourself at risk because the hunters are going to expect you to go there.
And then for you with your autism, how is that? Because that's a routine change and a half, that is.
Yeah, the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
So how do you cope with that then?
Luckily, I had Duncan, thank God. I think if I wasn't with someone that I'm so comfortable with, I would have struggled a lot more.
Right.
I was fine sort of knowing that, you know, as long as I'm with him, I know I'm okay. And I knew I was safe. I always felt safe.
Right.
You know, we were having fun, we were filming a TV show. But I really didn't want to get caught. I did not want to get caught.
You were up for it, yeah.
It was for Stand Up to Cancer.
Yeah.
Again, my mum
We love
always
that.
there. I just
Right.
think she was a strong single mum with absolutely nothing. And
Yeah.
then she's battled cancer through lockdown when no one could even give her a cuddle. So for me, staying in different places, trying to get food wherever I can, it's not a battle, is it?
And then do people get eliminated as they're caught then,
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing? Is that like one an episode, or how does it work? Or is it just random?
Yeah, people were caught quite quickly. I think day 3 was the first time someone got caught,
Yeah.
and then it was kind of like they just got knocked out along the way. But we didn't know. We never knew
Right.
if someone had been caught. Everybody else didn't know
Right.
we'd been caught.
Because I see a clip of you at a Blue concert. It's not the smartest thing to do, is it?
I was Duncan.
I mean,
Honestly.
like I ain't gonna lie to you. If you're being hunted, you kind of don't go to a concert
When
where
I
you're meant to be on the
asked her-
stage. It's great for TV though. I love that. I love the angle, but
Well, can you imagine me? I've rung them up. I've gone, Duncan, do you fancy doing this show? I'd love doing it together. It's for cancer. Like, please, will you come with me? It might be for a day. It might be for 2 weeks. I don't really know. But do you fancy it? He's like, right, okay. What are the dates? And he goes, I can do it, but I've got a concert in on this date. So I was like, okay, fine. Well, we're not going to get that far anyway. This was like a week into the show.
Yeah.
So I was like, you can go tell the boys you'll be there.
Right.
You'll be there. And we were still on the run. And he's going, well, I've got to somehow make my way to
That's
this
mad.
concert. So I was like, right, well, I'm not staying on my own, so we're going to have to just go together. And I ended up on stage with Blue.
that is amazing.
crazy.
Because it kind of seems scripted in a way. Like it's great for television, but it wasn't.
Definitely wasn't, no.
Do you
We
know what I
didn't know
mean?
if we were going to get there because we had to hitchhike our way to the venue.
But then is he not speaking to the boys then?
No, he couldn't.
So the boys are thinking, where's this guy?
Yeah.
He might not
yeah,
show.
Stage manager, everything. He didn't do a warm-up check, sound check, nothing. We literally went on. He done 1 or 2 songs and then we had to go because.
But that must have been good to be on stage with Come On Blue. We've got some bangers, isn't they?
One love.
Come on to the mother's
That's
temptation.
right,
Don't get me started. You know what I mean? But that must be lovely though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, do you know what? It's one of them moments that even now I still can't believe that I've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't say how the show ends. Do you know what I mean? But it's out and people can see it on kind
Yeah.
of Channel 4.
Channel 4.
And then coming up next is what you showed me, right? You can't talk about that. Is there
Coming
anything you
up
can talk
next?
about or?
Just that I'm going to have a really busy, fun summer. And
Yeah.
I'm going to make the most of it.
What does that mean?
It means that I feel
Talking in
ready.
riddles.
It means that I'm divorced now. That's
Right, so you
done.
can- yeah.
That's behind me. And that I feel like it's finally, it's okay for me to want to date and want to maybe have a relationship one day and
Right.
want to explore more. Whereas I think for the first couple of years after separating, I just couldn't even think about the possibility of spending my time with anybody else.
Right. And what about if Paddy was to be with someone?
He's dated and dating, and he's always been open and honest. We've always said to each other if we were ever gonna.
But no one's
do that,
bringing
we'd
anyone
let
back
each
to the
other
house, are they?
Absolutely not.
East wing or west wing? It's not happening, is it?
No, you do not cross
you,
that
You're
gate.
going to draw a line down the fucking house on the wing. You Okay. So there's rules though, and it's respectable.
Just respectable, yeah. And you know, we're both away when we work, and you know, we don't need to bring anything to home. And if any of us does get into a really loving relationship, and that's gorgeous and amazing, great, but then that's where we need to go. Let's talk about where we're living.
How we're going to
Yeah.
implement this straight up. I do this thing before
Okay.
we finish.
Okay.
You're like this. Well, I hope you will because it's happening anyway. So no, it's cool. It's cool. Where are we? I ask AI to ask you some questions.
Oh fuck!
No. It's AI. It's not
Okay.
me. I literally said, "Who is Christine McGuinness?" And it told me.
Oh
and then,
my
And then I
God.
said, "Give me questions for a podcast."
I
That
want to
is
know
it.
what it said.
What do you mean? Oh, what? As in who you are?
What did it say
Oh,
about
it says,
me?
Christine McGuinness is an English model, TV personality and former beauty queen. She's best known for appearances on reality shows like The Real Housewives of Cheshire. She's previously married to comedian Paddy McGuinness. She's also been open experience with autism, her own diagnosis, and children has worked to raise awareness and
How does
neurodiversity.
he know all that's
Hey,
all
the
true.
world, of course it's true. The world's taking over, you know.
Believe it.
Yeah. Started your career as a
My
beauty
God.
pageants, including Miss Liverpool, in various glamour and fashion. The Real Housewives of Cheshire, 2018 to 20. Loose Women, The Game, Celebrity Hunted. Listen,
Wow.
I'm telling. A book. Have you got a book out? A Beautiful Nightmare.
For 3 #1 bestseller.
Hey, talk about it. Come
Yeah, I
on.
left school at 14.
Oh, you left school at 14, lad.
Yeah.
You get me?
Author
Is it?
times 3.
Come on. Who wrote that? You or AI?
I wrote it.
Really?
I wrote it. And
got
even my own mum doesn't believe that I wrote I wrote the books myself.
You left school and you got bestsellers.
Do you know what? I think it's one of those things that I always loved doing and never felt confident with. And
Okay.
I was offered a book deal.
Right.
So I just thought,
And there,
I write, I am a creative, and I think people don't see me
No,
as that.
we
And
love
I
that.
draw, I love art. I sit up all day and night drawing and painting and designing, and I love being creative. So I wrote my autobiography, and I wrote 2 children's books about diversity and inclusion and friendship. And
they all just went.
they all went straight to #1 on Amazon.
Oh, that is amazing. We love that. Any more books coming out?
I want to do more. I'm just unsure where to go with it next
What do you mean?
because I've kind of fell back in love with writing. I'd always done it just as journaling, just being a girl. I was just quite messy with my notes all over the place. Whereas
Can I give you an idea?
writing a book, yeah.
I think you should be like a children's character and a child that has autism, and in a book maybe that's just like have little journeys that you go through.
That you've
Almost-
just basically said what my last book was. That's
Don't.
what I've
Oh,
done.
was that it?
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know.
No, because I wrote it. I wrote it when I was on the run.
Like,
with
can
Duncan.
imagine you being like a character. So
Yeah.
you give yourself a character, call it whatever you want,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a Dora Explorer type thing.
Yeah,
and you
it is.
encounter things, but the character is autistic.
Yeah.
I think that would be so lovely.
Well, that's what I've done.
And then,
I will send you a copy.
and
for
then
you,
the
George.
child. Oh, what is that? Is that a book out yet?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to claim some royalty rights. You get me?
No,
But,
no, I'm
She's
sure-
like, oh hell no, that money's all mine.
The Magic
Okay.
is Me, The Magic is You is about 2 friends, one of them's autistic,
Okay.
and they go on all adventures under the sea, they go to
But
space.
I feel like
they
you
go
need to create a
forest.
character like a Pepper or a Dora, and
That
so it's
can-
based around this character.
But there's nothing
you know what I
saying
mean?
that these books aren't going to be like a whole series.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah, we've got bills to pay.
20%, you and me both. You know, you see these lights that were on an hour prior to you coming here. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Ufa, we love that. So here's some questions. Some of it is probably you've answered it already.
Okay.
So let's just see what it says. We can swerve anyone you
I'm
want.
28, yes, I am 28. That's
Are
what
you?
it says
See,
in
that's
it.
what
AI
I'm
said
telling-
what
AI knows. Listen, it's coming for your house, mate. How many bedrooms in the house? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. All right, cool. Your split from Paddy McGuinness was all over the headlines. Was there a final straw that made you walk away? You didn't want to answer that. We swerved over it, yeah. Do you think fame changed Paddy more than it changed you?
Oh. No. If anything, it just made us both become very, very private. And I think he
What Fame
copped
did?
onto that earlier than I have.
What do you mean? Sorry.
He's been in the industry a lot longer than I have.
Yeah.
Even though we were together at the same time, I stayed out of it. And I think he picked up a lot of lessons early on with keeping himself to himself and staying private and not being open. And
Right.
Whereas I've had to learn that over the last couple of years. I think that everyone just wants to be my friends, and I think everyone's lovely, and
Right.
And I think everyone has got your best interest at heart, and I've learned over the years that they haven't, and a lot of people want tickets to an event.
And with kind of the actual autism, it's hard to read the lines.
Yeah.
So how do you navigate that? Because this is a
So-
very piranha-infested waters you're in.
Yes, so now I have no friends other than Duncan.
But no friends!
None at all.
Right.
If people set up an OnlyFans, I'm going to set up an OnlyFriends.
Really?
I'm gonna put
So you have no
need a
friends?
sponsor page for friends.
No friends, but I've got loads of bedrooms. Right.
But by choice. So I've got lots of industry friends, like who
But they're
I've worked
acquaintances,
with,
right?
but yeah.
Right.
And that works for me. It works really well because I haven't got the time. I can't keep in touch. And like I try to and I can't, so then I feel like a shit friend. So with industry friends, you work together, you're in your bubble, like the games, like Hunted, like you all know each other. There's a WhatsApp group popping off for the first couple of weeks and then it just kind of fizzles out.
Yeah, you're happy
And
with
there's
that.
no pressure to keep in touch. But then you see each other at events, like TV Choice Awards I went to the other night.
I wouldn't know, I wasn't invited.
I said, well, you're gonna be after this.
Oh,
We're going viral.
Right, go on.
But yeah, so you just see each other now and again at events, and for me that is much more
Suits your
like
lifestyle then.
suitable and realistic for me to keep up with.
But then to say I've only got one friend, is that...
It's by choice as
And
well
I
as
understand, sorry
like
to interrupt, I understand the older we get, the less friends we have. I'm with that, do you know what I mean?
yeah. I
but-
think I'm very private
Yeah.
and I don't have a lot of time, and I'm just choosing to do me in my own time. So if a job comes in that I want to do,
Yeah.
I would rather do that with my spare time than just go for lunch or go
Yeah, sure.
out for a night out. Like I'm not a social butterfly for the sake of it.
I hear that, and then just kind of trusting people. You just don't trust them now. Is there
No.
like you've got like this
No.
force field around you? Like I'm just not. How do
Yeah,
you?
unfortunately, I've been burnt a couple of times in different areas, in business, in friendships, in relationships.
Right.
You know, so I'm very protective of myself, and I'm much happier with just making that decision of I don't want or need anyone.
Right.
I've got my kids. I'm so close to my mum. I love my mum, my brother, my sister, my nieces, my nephews, and I love my work friends. When I come down to London, and I'm in that circle for that little bit of time.
Good.
It's lovely. It's great.
So if you want to be Christine's friend, fuck off, basically. In a nutshell, she's got a big fuck off on her forehead. You know what I mean? No, but it's all good. Would you ever date another celebrity? Are you done with high-profile relationships? This is AI, by the way, not me.
Oh. Do you know, I don't know. I wouldn't specifically go for somebody who's in the industry, but
If it happens, it happens.
yeah, it just depends on the person. But I wonder if somebody who wasn't in the industry would understand my life, so then it might be a struggle. Because
hear
it's
that.
not like,
Yeah, but then you
Your
understood
average 9 to
Paddy when he
5.
was in it, I suppose.
yeah, but then my world revolved around him.
And then their world would have to
So
revolve
it
around
was like one life, whereas I've got so much going on in my life. If
Yeah.
somebody wasn't as busy, then they wouldn't understand.
Side note here, would you expect this new person, how would that work with your children? Would you keep that away because
Yeah.
they've got their dad, they don't, I don't know, how would you,
I
or
think-
do you not think that far ahead?
I
Sorry
don't
to
think that far ahead, but I think it would be a long time for either of us to introduce anyone for
Right.
the children. I think we're talking years and years.
Yeah.
And I don't
You've
think
gotta
there's any
be-
right or wrong. Like
Right.
some people like to introduce the kids straight away to see
Mm.
if it works. For me, that I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. Yeah, I think it would be a long time
Yeah.
off. Yeah, when the kids are older.
Fair enough. Have you ever regretted sharing so much of your personal life with the public?
No, do you know why I haven't? Because believe it or not, I don't feel like I have.
Yeah,
I feel like I share the parts that I'm happy to share.
yeah.
Some things obviously it's taken out of your control if you're papped or, you know, you just don't know when everyone right now has got a phone and a camera. So, but yeah, no, the majority of it, I only talk about things that I'm comfortable talking about. So.
Yeah, fair enough. What's the one thing about your former marriage that the public doesn't know but should?
Oh, the one thing about formal marriage that the public doesn't know that should.
Again, there's no pressure to answer these. I don't want the phone call
I feel
afterwards.
like they know. I feel like they know. Like we genuinely were just a normal couple.
Yeah,
We really were just a normal couple
Fair
at
enough.
home.
fair enough. Reality TV can be fake. How much of the Real Housewives of Cheshire was real and how much was scripted?
Oh, it's 100% real.
All of it.
Yeah, it's 100% real.
Yeah.
The only thing that's not real, I'd say, is that it's edited down. So you might see 2 minutes of an argument, but that argument's been going on for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wish you could have like put your hands on someone, like, you know what I mean? Because you
Do
can
you know-
legally do it, innit?
No.
It's true though. You can legally pull some extensions out.
No, do you know what?
could get
It's,
some
it's
extension.
not my character. And sometimes I wish I had a bit more ag in me, a bit more
Right.
anger and a bit, but it's just not there.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I'm too laid back and I'll laugh at a lot of stuff that I shouldn't because I just think, oh, you know.
That's a good way to
it's
be.
fine. Yeah, it is and it isn't because, you know, well, I still live with my ex-husband. I'll probably
Yeah.
still be there in 10 years if I don't get something in me to
And-
go, come on.
And then side note, you wouldn't do any of this boxing stuff, celebrity boxing, because I see a lot of people.
I've been asked to.
Okay.
Yeah,
Come on.
I've been asked to.
And
Um.
there's money in that, you know.
Oh no, but
No, it's up to you. I'm just curious because I get a lot of people sit here and they're on these kind of YouTube fights and stuff like that.
I've been asked to. I've been asked to quite a lot actually
Would
this
you
year, like
consider it?
different sports. For the right charity.
The right money, charity begins at home, baby.
Stop it,
For the
yeah.
right extension money, that annex basement ain't gonna build itself.
Who's gonna pay for my nails after I break
No,
them?
you have to take them off. You gotta take them off. But yeah, is it something you would consider? Because I know there's.
Yeah. I think if it was genuinely, if it had the right cause behind it, yeah, I would look at it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't just do it for work or for money because it's not what I would.
Everyone's got a
naturally
price, you know.
enjoy.
I've learned
Although
that.
I am going to a big boxing match in a couple of weeks to watch a Scouse girl. I'm going to shout out Tasha.
Come on.
Tasha Jonas. And she has invited me along to get on the pads with her, but I
Hey,
don't
hey,
know.
come on.
She's a champ.
Come-
I think I'll just sit
Take
in the
it
ring and
easy.
watch.
Take it easy. You started as a glamour model. Do you think social media influencers have ruined the industry? Everyone's an Insta model these days.
No, I think everyone's more independent and they're taking control of themselves and not giving 20% to all the old managers.
Well, they're giving 20% to OnlyFans. What do you think of that as well?
I don't
by the
know,
way?
are they?
Yeah,
Is that what it is, 20%?
OnlyFans take 20%, I believe. I take it by saying that you don't have an OnlyFans account.
No.
What is your thought on this OnlyFans thing? There's literally, I've had girls sit here, show me their bank account, and they're millionaires.
Are they?
Yes, literal
God.
millionaires. There's like news, they're earning more than sports stars now.
See, it's tempting, isn't it? I could never do it. I could never do it because of my
No.
children, but it's very tempting.
But I'm saying, what do you think about these girls that are?
I think good for them.
Yeah,
I
you
think
think-
if they're genuinely comfortable doing what they want to do with their bodies, that's up to them. I think it's really, really harsh on people in the industry that do it as extra modelling work when they're just doing lingerie and bikinis
Yep.
like they would in a photo shoot, and
Yep.
then they've lost their jobs in television because they've gone on OnlyFans. I think that's unfair. I think it's too harsh.
Right, and then thoughts on some that are like going like doing 100,000 men in short periods of time.
No, they're not.
Yeah, don't you know any of that? Yeah, Lily Phillips has been here. She did 100 in one day. Bonnie Blue claims her.
Slept with 100 men in one day.
Yeah. Don't you know all this? This is like everywhere. And then Bonnie Blue claims to have done 1,000.
In a day?
Yeah.
There isn't 1,000 minutes in a day.
She says she's got proof. It's on her OnlyFans. Lily says she's done 100 and it's on the.
How many minutes is in a day? Ask AI. Because this is embarrassing for men all over the country.
And there's queues. Apparently there's queues. Like the men are just and they basically film the content and they sell it on OnlyFans. I've had them on the show.
So not only are the girls proud of sleeping with this many men, the men are quite happy to have lasted 20 seconds.
And show that, yeah.
They're all okay with that.
And well, I guess so. And show their face.
And
How many minutes? We want the maths. There you go.
1,440 minutes in one day, which means if there was over 1,000 men,
It'd be
they
like
have all lasted on average around 40
Minute.
seconds, which is exactly why I am single and will remain single for the foreseeable future, because 40 seconds?
But I'm saying, what do you think of like these women that are doing this? Do you think it's a healthy thing? Because they're going viral, they're millionaires. It's like, and they're like, I have interviewed a few of them, and the comments are not good, unfortunately. They don't seem to care about it. They've shown me their bank accounts. They're millionaires. They're earning more than sports stars, for God's sake.
I think
It
it's
just
very,
seems like the
very,
whole world is in a whole...
It's individual choice, and if they are happy doing that, and we've got to say that men do it as well, because they do, I've seen it.
Ain't no man doing 1,000 women in 24 hours, mate. I don't know what Viagra he's taking, but let me tell you something. That shit is not happening.
Yeah, it's not for me personally, but I get it, and I understand why they are doing that, because they're taking control of themselves and their own career, and they're probably thinking, you know, if they were dating someone or in a relationship, they'd be giving sex away for nothing anyway. They're getting paid for it. It's completely their choice, as long as they're staying safe and clean.
Well, safety is the
nothing
issue
else.
that they can't. Yeah. Okay. I had to ask you, what's the worst thing you've ever been asked to do for fame?
The worst thing I've ever been asked to do for fame?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've been offered anything really bad.
No?
No, because I'm just so grateful.
Okay. It's fine.
Whatever I get asked.
Hey, that's cool. Do you think mainstream TV has a problem with how it treats women, especially mums?
No.
Yeah, I don't. We've answered this one. Would you ever do Strictly Come Dancing or I'm a Celeb, or are you done with TV, with reality TV?
Yeah, I
That's
would
fine.
do those.
You were diagnosed with autism later in life. How do you ever wonder how different it would have been if you knew earlier?
I do. I often think about if I'd have known at school.
Right.
Throughout my 20s, I don't know if it would have made any difference, because I was set in my ways. I wanted to be a mum and a wife, and that's what I'd done.
Yep.
But at school, yeah, if I was supported or understood more, I might have left with some GCSEs.
Yeah, well, who cares, because you wrote books anyway.
But I could have been an author.
Come on, you're
10
still an author
years
now, what do you
ago.
mean?
But yeah, I trust my path. It was supposed to be
it's
the
God's
way it
timing.
is. Yeah.
Some people think autism awareness is being overdone. What's your response to the skeptics?
I
Touched on this
think
earlier.
that it's amazing how much autism awareness there is, but I think we still have quite a long way to go with autism understanding, and
Yep.
that's different from just hearing about it.
Fair enough. There's been criticism that celebrities talk about autism for clout. How do you make sure your advocacy is authentic? AI, you know.
I can only comment on me and my children.
Yeah.
So I tend to stay away from, like, you know, in general, people will this or will that. I can only say that this is how it affects me and how it affects my children, and speak about our experiences.
Yep. What's the biggest misconception about autism that frustrates you the most?
Oh, I think people assume that autistic people are quite emotionless or quite cold and like
Right.
cut, and when it's not that at all. We can struggle with our emotions, we can struggle to understand our emotions, and we can struggle to show our emotions. So often it might come across as though you don't care, but really inside you could be
Right.
heartbroken.
If you had to give one piece of advice to parents raising autistic children, what would it be?
To be patient, give them all the love and support that you would, whether they were autistic or not, you
Yeah.
know, which I'm sure most parents do anyway. But just to be patient and stay positive. I think when you first hear those words that your children are autistic, you fear the worst. You think they're never going to get friends. You think they may never speak and they may never be able to socialise or live independently. But you don't know. They all develop differently, and with the right help and support, I think just stay positive and be patient.
Be honest. Do you think a lot of celebrities fake struggles to stay relevant?
Oh, God.
It's AI, you know, mad.
I don't know, but it's one I'll keep in the bank just in case.
Come
you
on,
never know.
yeah, you never know struggles. I'm struggling today, folks.
No, I don't
There's
think
too many
anyone
flowers
would.
on the bed.
No one would want to manifest struggle, surely not.
Yeah,
I
no.
like to pretend I'm doing better than I am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I hear that. What's the biggest lie you've ever told the media? Come
Well,
on,
I can't.
come
say.
on, let it out.
I don't think I've lied.
That's a lie in itself. There you go. There it
Do
is.
you know what I'm good at? What I think I'm not proudly good at, but it's something I've learned in the industry, is to just avoid answering rather than lying.
I
So
hear that.
I'll just
But
go
that's a
around
skill
the
set in
answers
itself.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. But if you go around your house, you'll be there forever because it's so
Exactly. Then I'm going to get the answer.
big. Because it's so big.
Yeah.
The acreage is so vast.
You know, 10
Anyway,
floors and all that.
you've seen the dark side of fame. What's the most messed up thing about the industry that people don't know?
The most messed up thing about the industry that people don't know. I'd probably say how quickly it can be taken away from you. I think people assume that if you're on telly that you're a millionaire straight away, and you're not.
You kind of are.
No, you're not.
I just saw the car you pulled up in. I'm not going to be honest. I got to, you know, it's just cool. Own it. I respect it.
And I think people think that you're set for life when you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
But you're doing all right.
Thank you.
And I love that for you. I love that
Thank
for
you.
you.
I feel like I'm just at the beginning.
Well, hey, I won't mind being there. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm joking. Right. If you could expose If you could expose one celebrity for being fake, who would it be and why? I don't think you can answer that. You can if you want to. No. I feel right. You can answer that. Just tell her, yeah. Looking back at everything, what's your biggest regret? We're almost there.
Oh, what's my biggest regret? I don't regret anything. I'm gonna sound like a cliche,
No,
but
that's fine.
yeah, I just feel like I've learned from lessons, and my lessons then turn into blessings. you
Yeah,
know,
I hear that.
so.
Do you think women in the entertainment industry are pressured to stay in unhappy relationships for the sake of their careers? Whoa.
I don't think the pressure to, but I know some that do.
Yeah. Do you want
But
to
I
name
think
them?
it's by choice.
Do you want to name them? No.
Actually, I just think it'll all come out in the wash because there's only so long you can pretend.
Have you ever felt used by the media? If so, what was the worst example?
Yes. During my divorce.
Right.
I feel like it was unnecessary, the amount of what our divorce was commented on when, you know...
Scrutiny.
We'd both said, obviously it's a personal situation, it's difficult for anybody anyway, but it's really, really difficult for a family that have got 4 neurodiverse people in the family, and there was times when it was unnecessary and they could have just let it chill.
If you could say one thing to Paddy now that you never said during your marriage, what would it be? Whoa.
Oh... It would be, I don't know. I think I would have included us all more as a family together, doing things more together. I think I'd have pushed for more family time together, which I didn't.
Yeah.
At the time, I was just supporting his career.
What's the one moment in your life that you wish had never been made public? I think I know it, but we can't say
I
it.
don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Honestly, anything and everywhere that's out
Okay.
there, whether it's true or not, it's been some kind of entertainment to me. At some point, I will have opened it and gone, oh my God,
Yeah.
what now?
If your kids wanted to go into showbiz, would you encourage them or tell them to run the other way? 4 more questions.
Whatever they want to do, I would support them.
Yeah. What's the most unfair rumour you've heard about yourself?
Most unfair rumour I've heard about myself. I haven't had any bad rumours, and I don't want to jinx it, but I'm very, very lucky with the press. They're always quite kind.
Do you think the British media treats women differently than men when it comes to scandals and breakups?
No,
No.
not at all. I think it's quite fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it just so happens that there's more men that maybe have been caught out with things.
Yeah.
So it just seems like there's more bad attention on men.
Have you ever lost friends because of fame? Well, you've only got one friend, so.
Never let anyone in. So.
Hey, you got to sort that out, you know. What's the one thing you've done for money or exposure that you'd never do again?
Oh God. It went for exposure, but for money, I've tried multiple different businesses that just is not for me. I've realised I'm not a businesswoman.
Yeah. Just be a landlord
got the
instead.
time.
Just rent out the annex.
Do
You're
you know
good.
what?
Landlord it.
Yeah.
Just, you know the east wing. Rent that shit out. Put a wall, a stud wall in there. Stud wall.
Might be able to buy them out in a few years.
Come on. Hey, I don't want to start nothing. Last question. If you could erase one headline or news story about you forever, what one would it be and why?
I don't think I've ever... I know which one.
Come on. Tell
I've never discussed
them.
it.
Let it out.
I've never discussed this, and I'm going to say it.
Go on.
Oh God! Oh God! Right, I was linked to someone that I'd spoke to for less than what I speak to my postman to. It was literally a hello,
Right.
goodbye sort of thing, and I didn't know who he was. Bless him, I had no idea. It was like the opening of a restaurant, and it was like a week later. I saw a photo of myself, like full page, with this man.
Who is it?
That we were cozying up in a corner and we were getting really close, and we weren't at all.
Right.
And it was Jesse Lingard, who
Right.
plays for somebody
He's
somewhere.
a footballer, yeah.
Is it Man City or Man U or
I'm
somewhere?
going to get it wrong, so I'm not going to say, but he's a Premiership footballer.
But I didn't know.
Right.
But I will just clear that up right now. I have never cozied up with nobody in no corner. Certainly not Jesse Lingard.
Okay.
Lovely man, very polite.
When you see this kind of press stuff, how does it make you feel?
I was very tempted to clear that up straight away.
Because it's a lie on one hand, but on the other hand, it's actually, there's no such thing as bad press. That's actually good press because,
Is it?
well, it's not good press, but it's like you're in the pages, aren't you? Like,
Yeah, but I didn't want to be here. I was trying to keep my head down.
yeah, but do you get what I'm saying? It's like,
I don't know. I remember just thinking at the time, like, how can that be written when we barely spoke?
Yeah.
We said a polite hello. That was it.
and then
So-
what are your DMs like? You'd have to tell me, but are they like,
Do you know what I was really surprised at? I remember the day that we'd said publicly that we'd separated. And we'd separated for a while before we announced it publicly.
right?
And on that day, the amount of DMs that I got. On that day.
Sorry, I'm not meant to laugh, but
No sympathy, no like, oh, give her a while. You know, she's
just
been in
straight
a
away, yo,
relationship
baby,
for a
what's
long-
up, baby?
Yeah,
I
like
heard you back
said,
on the market.
Just been waiting.
Really?
Yeah.
But what? Just loads of them from just strangers.
Strangers, some that I knew, some
Some people that you know
yeah,
just said, "Oh, you're single. Do you wanna?"
yeah. And there
Really?
was the odd one that was like, sorry to hear about your break.
What you doing tomorrow? Let's
What?
get coffee. Straight away.
Straight away.
How does that make you feel when you know these people? That means their intentions all this time were.
Do you know what? It kept me entertained on the lonely nights, just scrolling through and sort of going, oh my God.
And
I
then
can't
now, like your DMs, what are they like? Come on, be honest. You must be getting some blue ticks sliding in.
Oh no, they were blue ticks on day one.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying like,
Do you know what? It's just it is what it is. Yeah.
what is it? I don't know.
It is what it is. It's like people think Instagram's a dating agency and it's not,
Yeah.
and I just ignore it.
All right, fair enough. Is there anything we can look forward to? I'm done on my side. Is there any last message you'd like to give the people?
Just you're going to be seeing a lot more of me this year, and I'm very, very excited. And we are looking for a sponsor for the Shizzio show.
Come on, she's my manager now, you know. I told her, find me a sponsor. We got you. Actually, last question. I think I know the answer, but are you happy?
I am happy.
Yeah.
I am. I genuinely am. I feel like I am just at the very beginning
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah.
Me as Christine.
You seem happy.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm
you, but
always going to be mum. But I'm so open-minded and I'm so free-spirited now, and I'm just like, I just want to go for it. I want to go
Yeah.
for it and have a good time and just go fuck it. Do you know what? We live once.
I hear
So
that.
at the end of the day, if there's no money in the bank, I'll have memories.
There's definitely money in the bank, folks. I'd like to just say that. Let's not go there. I'd like to say, Miss McGuinness, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been lovely. Thank you for your time.
No
You were
worries.
late, but it's all
Worth
good.
it.
It's
Worth it.
100% worth it.
Yeah, we've created headlines
Come
today.
on, got big headlines, big headlines. I want to say seriously, thank you for your time. Really appreciate it, and the work you do with the autism, I think, is really lovely. And I don't think you may not fully know the help that you provide others.
Oh, bless
So-
you. Thank you for shining the light
No,
on it.
I think
Risha.
it's really lovely. Long may that continue. Keep shining. And if there's ever space in the north wing that you just want to, you know what I mean, just you get me. I take it. Love and respect. We out. Peace.